You're watching a presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ABC.
Two of the biggest universities in the state of Texas, the best versus the best.
We're fighting for that throne of the great state of Texas.
Everybody got to get it today, dog!
Like anything was possible.
It's for all the marbles and a chance at the SEC championship.
Let's go!
Both teams fighting for the same thing. That's what rivalry games should be about.
I'm running down a dream.
It's our town, baby! Focus! Play championship football!
I know that the Aggies are going to bring their best.
We can go out there and beat the hell out of Texas.
Tonight, a Texas-sized celebration at long last. An old, bitter, beautiful rivalry is reignited after a 13-year hiatus. A high-stakes collision tonight here in Kyle Field, the Aggies and the Longhorns. Welcome to the home of the 12th man and something special here tonight. The SEC on ABC. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One, part of an incredible rivalry week in this sport presented by Fairfield by Marriott. Two coaches who come from opposite coasts. Mike Elko from New Jersey for the Aggies, Californian Steve Sarkisian for Texas. Their first taste of this rivalry as head coaches and their first ever collision as bosses of the two big programs in this state. Welcome to Kyle Field. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe. What is going to happen next on this crazy holiday weekend? We knew it's going to be a wild season, the chase for that 12-team playoff, and it's been punctuated by a wild last 48 hours, Kirk.
I mean, really only fitting. This 24 season has been so unpredictable. You knew coming into rivalry weekend there was a chance for a lot of chaos, and we got it. And we haven't even gotten started tonight. What we expect, the winner of this game advances, of course, to Atlanta to take on Georgia. How much better could this get than this rivalry finally coming back since 2011?
Yeah, for a dozen years, fans and players were denied the unique intensity of this game. All kinds of reasons, politics, money, ego. But forget all that. Tonight, this generation of college football players are going to get their first taste of what it means to play in a Texas A&M game. And Quinn Ewers, one of the many Texas natives on this field tonight, comes into this game filled with self-belief, but also with an ankle on the right side there that is a question coming in.
Yeah, and this is something we'll keep a close eye on. That right ankle is a bit of an issue. He seems to be very confident as far as how it feels. Chris and I and Holly standing very close to him during warm-ups. Didn't appear to bother him much. Was able to push off of it with that right ankle. But it's a guy that's got to be able to give in. He has to have time to be able to make these throws. Texas has a decisive advantage with their receivers against the A&M secondary. The whole issue will be, will they give Quinn Ewers enough time to be able to exploit him?
Yeah, a lot of explosive plays for that Texas offense, and A&M gives up a bunch. The Texas defense, statistically the best in the country. It's a serious challenge for a young quarterback, Marcel Reed, who has the it factor, but has never really quite seen anything like this, maybe.
No, again, I've told you this. I followed this kid since he was in 9th grade. He's one of these guys that just kind of has a poise about him. He's not going to be intimidated at all, but they've got to be able to get him started fast, get this offense into a rhythm, be able to not only utilize his legs, but his arm. Texas will come in determined to keep him in the pocket, not let him make plays out on the edge of the Texas defense. They're going to have to be able to contain him and make him throw to have to beat him.
This 12th man is an incredible scene here tonight. Texas's first night game in their first SEC campaign. It is the toughest, most expensive ticket on record for a regular season game in college football or in pro football for that matter. Average price more than $1,600 plus just to get in here. Should be the biggest crowd in the SEC's biggest house ever. Longhorns and Aggies back together again, and all is right.
The Nissan pregame drive is next after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Gentlemen,
Hey, Coach. New boots?
genuine alligator.
Gator? I gotta call Albert. He's not picking up. Come on, buddy, pick up.
Welcome to the Nissan pregame drive. Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Welcome back. Well, late season pressure produces some strange results. No foregone conclusions on rivalry week. Ohio State 3-touchdown favorite against Michigan. It's a defensive stalemate. This is the biggest offensive play of the game as Khalil Mullins gets loose.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. They needed yards to get into field goal territory. Sets this potential game-winning field goal up right through the middle.
Buckeyes had no timeouts, last gasp. Will Howard had a tough game. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, this game's usually won at the line of scrimmage, and Michigan won on both sides. Hate to see this at the end of the game. Just, you know, the whole throwing the flag at the middle of the field. Ohio State's reaction, just classless on both sides.
Penn State, Oregon for the Big Ten title. Meanwhile, look at Lenora Sellers for Clemson. Weaving through that Tigers defense, the Gamecock quarterback with a game-winning touchdown.
Unbelievable search. South Carolina, a team that's as hot as anybody the last 4 or 5 weeks, to go into Death Valley, make the plays they needed to make. A big interception there. Don't look now. Gamecocks 9-3. They have a strong case for the committee late in the year.
Bad afternoon from Clemson. Good evening, because Syracuse came from 21-zip down to shock Miami and knock the Canes out, putting Clemson in the ACC championship game against SMU.
Despite losing today in a non-conference game against South Carolina, with this loss, we talked all week, really the last few weeks, about the danger of going to Syracuse for Miami, and the Orange get it done, pull off the big upset at home.
And the Longhorns tonight will come into this environment. Barron Sorrell, one of the big voices on that defensive side, respected leader. Kind of feels like he's an NFL veteran already. Can that Texas front make it a long night on this Aggie offense? A&M's defense stout and loaded with frontline players like Nick Scorton. Grew up in Bryan, Texas. This guy is a tough-minded survivor. Finally back in his backyard and ready to battle the Longhorns. Will it be one of those games where the defenses control things and one mistake decides it at the end? Can't wait to find out, along with all these folks at Kyle Field. This has been the Nissan pregame drive. Kickoff coming up after these messages from Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
You know the most exciting thing about life? It's how you can change it. How you can reinvent yourself. Take on new challenges. So go ahead, reimagine yourself. We did. Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks.
You're watching Rivalry Week, presented by Fairfield by Marriott.
Giddings, Texas, the exact halfway point between Austin and College Station. Every street on either side split by this rivalry, now rekindled.
It's the main event.
I don't think there's any bigger than this one.
The rivalry never dies.
After 13 years of simmering low and slow, Horns versus Aggies is now burning hotter than oak smoke.
All eyes will be on Texas and Texas A&M to determine so much.
The stakes get higher and higher.
If A&M in Texas, it's on.
Texas A&M is going to beat the crap out of the University of Texas.
Just completely full of Longhorns will win.
Both teams eyeing 3 titles, SEC champs, national champs, and kings of the Republic of Texas.
They control their own destiny, and here it is.
It's your time. Go out there and play the way you know how.
Touchdown, Texas A&M.
What an effort. Are you kidding me?
Texas A&M. Welcome to the Lone Star Showdown.
So festive, so much anticipation, excitement, anxiety on both sides. Thanksgiving 2011, the last time the Longhorns and the Aggies collided. It was right on this field, and it was a walk-off field goal by Justin Tucker to win it for Texas. The Aggies have lost 2 of their last 3 games, Kirk. They lost a 4-overtime heartbreaker to Auburn, but hours later, they regained control of their destiny with Alabama losing. The winner tonight heads off to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Bulldogs for the SEC Championship.
Yeah, despite that slip-up, these Aggies come in still controlling their own destiny. Motivated team. Just 60 minutes away.
Slight home underdogs. And this famous 12th man implored to make a difference. 80,000 were here for a yell practice that was not at midnight. It was in the afternoon. traditions, and the vibe they create absolutely unique in sports. Incredible rebuilding job in year one for Mike Elko. My goodness, goosebumps, long time waiting. The bands competing and colliding before the football teams get out here right there. Both fight songs from their respective schools do some old-time trolling of their rival. Saw off varsity's horns. That's the old name for Texas before they adopted the Longhorns. Steve Sarkisian knows what his team is in for tonight. He's down with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, you talked about the importance in these rivalry games of playing with emotion but not being emotional. How have you said that and communicated that to your team?
Well, I just think it's been really critical tonight. We played with great poise and composure, especially in the critical moments.
Your quarterback had an ankle injury. What do you expect from him tonight in his mobility?
Well, I think he's going to play good football. We wouldn't put him out there if we didn't think he could do it.
Thank you, Coach. Speaking of Quinn Ewers, I talked to their athletic training staff. They have been doing round-the-clock aggressive treatment to get him ready to play. And guys, you can see a heavy brace under the tape of that right ankle. I watched him extensively in warm-ups. He could drop back, he could push off. That is the back-throwing foot, but he seemed to be moving very well. Chris?
Thank you, Holly. He limped through the last 2.5 quarters against Kentucky. Kirk, if he can't move better than that tonight, I suspect we'll see Arch Manning. He's got to be a little bit mobile.
Yeah, he's going to get some pressure, especially on third downs. Not the most mobile guy. Look at his face. I mean, this guy grew up in his state. Look at that smile. How excited he is for this opportunity to play in this rivalry and represent the Burnt Orange.
Well, across the state, across generations, you got families who love each other but don't always like each other this week. There are so many families divided. And Kirk, they've talked about recruiting rankings. They've done message board banter, trolling on social media. Finally, push all that stuff aside. Let's settle into the football field tonight.
Let's go. Let's go. 60 minutes. Winner heads to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Bulldogs.
Will Stone to boot it away. Terry Bussey, the versatile weapon for the Aggies, stands back at the goal line. At long last, they're back at it. And the lefty will boot it through the back of the end zone. And here comes Marcel Reed. Kirk, you talked about his background in Nashville. Redshirt freshman, was the backup to begin this season. Took over when Connor Wegman struggled. Then he got pulled, and then when he was reinserted, but hitting his stride, improving the passing component of his game.
Yeah, like any young quarterback, the more reps he gets, the more the game slows down for him. Big thing tonight. Young man, again, has demonstrated such poise and maturity throughout his life that I've been able to watch him play. That'll have to be on full display tonight, and those around him will have to match that poise.
Team certainly believes in Marcel Reed. Amari Daniels is the running back. Daniels ran hard in that overtime loss to Auburn, but he did drop the pass right on his hands in the fourth overtime that cost him a chance. His teammates picking him up tonight. He's one of the impact players.
Yeah, Amari Daniels will have to, obviously, you said, Chris, have to carry the load. Noah Thomas, 6'6", number 3 on the outside. Some great defenders on this defense. We'll be talking about him a lot. Anthony Hill, 0, the leader in the middle of that defense. And Michael Taff, a former walk-on who has become one of the leaders himself on the back end. Very active, second on the team in tackles.
On 2nd and 8, Reed from the pocket, has protection, delivers a downfield throw, and the catch is made. That's Terry Bussey. Expect lots of touches in different ways for number 2. They pick up 31 on the first play.
Chris, a simple thing, a little switch release down that sideline, and watch how it impacts the communication of Texas defense. That outside defender goes with the outside receiver who worked in and got over late. That's Barron. Good recognition and delivery there by Marcel.
And now a whistle and a false start. Boy, the crowd gets so fired up, but then they got to get quiet again when the AM offense is trying to operate with some tempo.
False start on the offense. All 11 players will not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, that switch release affected the communication there. Barron, who's a veteran, was the outside corner. He comes over late from your right, comes off that inside receiver, and not able to separate Bussey from the football.
Downfield shots not a strength of this A&M offense, to say the least. They've struggled to create the explosive plays. They get one early, and now Daniels off the left side fights hard to get back near the original line of scrimmage. It's this Texas A&M offense. It gets Chase Besantis back at left guard. He's a big addition, one of the anchors of that group.
Yeah, he really is. They need to control the line of scrimmage. What's going to be exciting to see, you look at all these stats on the Texas defense, and they haven't played an opponent like this offensive firepower most of the year, and they're near the top of the country. This will be a different test to see how they match up against the speed in this quarterback and Marcel Reed.
Bussey comes in motion. Reed takes off, jukes, but can't escape the grasp of Michael Taff, that safety you talked about. It's going to be 3rd down at about 5.
This is why I put Taff on one of our impact players. Not only his intelligence in the back end, but he's going to have to make some one-on-one plays as well. Here he is back on the back end. This opens up. It's one-on-one. That's like a drill you do in practice. Who's going to win that one-on-one matchup with all that space? Taff does enough there to keep him short of the first down. That's much tougher to do than it looks.
Longhorns an exceptional 3rd down defense. A&M not bad, but not elite at converting 3rd downs.
Now the crafty veteran Sorrell that time jumps. Marcel Reed gave a hard clap, and Sorrell jumped.
Offside on the defense, number 88. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Good discipline by the Texas A&M offensive line. Watch the quarterback hard clap. Got him. Save those hard claps for those 3rd down and short situations.
So a gift, and the Aggies now set up just outside the Texas 35. Plenty of time. Reed steps up, delivers across the middle. It's a low throw, and the catch is made by Ja'Day Walker, who was wide open. Picked up 16.
Boy, you really love to see what this offense can do by spreading out the defense. A great catch. Give Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator, a lot of credit. Uses motion, clears out, and spreads out the Texas defense in that empty formation. Allows Marcel Reed to either take off and run or use the vision and make an accurate throw.
Aggies in the red zone. Daniels up the middle. I just love this part of the field, Kirk. The physical part a test of will. Who wants it more? The mental part. Who can make the quick decisions? Who can make the precise throws and catches down here? Should decide the game tonight.
Yeah, ultimately it will. Colin Klein right now has got to be enjoying what he's seeing from his offensive line, because you think of Marcel Reed in this offense, especially the LSU game that you and I were here for, and it was all about the zone read and on the edge. Right now, when they're running the football, they're getting behind the big boys and running Amari Daniels, and that's critical down in this area. And this game ultimately could be decided red zone. Are you settling for field goals, or are you scoring touchdowns?
It's Bussey who takes the handoff. You saw that A&M is incredibly efficient, scoring on all but 2 red zone trips and a very good percentage of touchdowns on these trips.
Yeah, they sure are. And again, Marcel Reed is a threat, not only running, but making good decisions, quick decisions you referred to, and the threat of him getting on the edge, the ability to run and throw. This is where A&M wants to live. You get to 3rd and 2 with a quarterback like this, boy, you're kind of guessing on the other side what this offense might be able to do here. They either run Daniels, you can fake it to Daniels, get on the edge. He's actually going to go sugar huddle and go quick huddle here to the line of scrimmage.
Need 2 here. 8th play of the drive coming up, and Ruben Owens is in the game. Number 4, injured in camp. He is a blazing fast back who's been rehabbing like crazy to get ready for this moment. Timeout taken. Often referred to as a clash of cultures, these campuses 100 miles apart, and they are populated by a whole bunch of Texans. The Aggies will have 68 Texans dressed tonight. Longhorns, as the road team, have fewer dressed, but 46 come from this state. 3rd and 2, opening possession of this football game.
Well, is this a big one here in the trenches? Let's see what Colin Klein goes with Marcel Reed.
Horns crowd the line, handoff to Daniels, who is met right at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got there. They'll stop him a yard short, and an early 4th down decision for Elko.
Big decision. David Benda, great play here on this middle linebacker blitz. Got off of the block, kept him short, and here we go. The decision has been made.
It's hard to run into the teeth of this Texas front. Daniels, did he get there? Looks like he just got enough. Well, the official from the far side ran in. From the near side, no. Texas rises up, and Barron Sorrell, who had that penalty earlier in the drive, redeems himself.
He sure did, Chris. That's exactly what I was about to say. Off the edge right here. It's nice to be able to rely on a veteran. Get off the block from the tight end, bang, and then he gets help from the rest of that defense. What a job there of playing with intensity, expecting that inside run, and the big fella, the veteran off the edge, 260 pounds, closes in to keep Daniels short.
When you combine effort and motor and technique and a pro mentality, you got a great defensive end.
Remember, we said these teams are going to move the ball. What happens in the red zone could decide the outcome.
It's really, really loud for Ewers as they set up from the 10. Looking to throw on 1st down, and he launches downfield. Miscommunication. Isaiah Bond didn't run the route, kind of looked back at the quarterback.
First play, they decided to take a shot. You're right, Bond just kind of gave up on it. He's coming back from a gimpy ankle himself. Here's Ewers, 23-6. Veteran, he's played in so many big games on the road this year and throughout his career.
Deafening. On 2nd down, they're trying to hammer Quintravian Wisner, and Wisner coming off a career game against Kentucky, picks up just a couple, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Talked about Sorrell off the edge of Texas. That time Nick Scorton getting involved. He's a really good pass rusher. A little tempo here.
Aggies not lined up, and again a misfire. Gunnar Helm is the top target in this passing game. Wasn't looking for the football, and the Longhorns go 3 and out.
Well, Sark thought he would go a little bit of tempo, especially when it came to 3rd down, try to prevent them from getting different packages on. They actually go with zone pressure. Ewers trying to get the ball out early because of that pressure. See that Sark trying to settle everybody down 2 times out of 3 plays. The receivers that he's throwing the ball to not expecting the football. So it's a 3 and out.
Both teams feature freshman punters. It's Michael Kern for the Longhorns to boot it away to Bussey. Not a real long kick, and Bussey waves for a fair catch right at the 50-yard line after just a 37-yard punt.
So Mike Elko's decision to go aggressive in that red zone area, go for the touchdown. His defense helps him out with that 3 and out.
Second Aggie possession from midfield coming up. Rivalry born back in 1894. They played 97 straight times until 2011 when the Aggies left for the SEC. That didn't sit well in Texas. They refused to play them, and they thought maybe they have all-time bragging rights from that win here in 2011. But with Texas joining the SEC, back together on an annual basis. And again, some things change, but some don't. When these two teams get together, it's hot-blooded.
What's my man doing right here with his Home Depot hat on? Looking good there in the middle of the core.
So the Aggies defense gets that quick 3 and out, sets up Reed and the offense at the 50. And off inside, Daniels has those quick feet, but picks up just a few before Anthony Hill, and Lefau closed him down.
Interesting how they continue to run. It's almost like they're setting up, lulling this defense to sleep. What he can do to the edge of this defense. Now they're going to go empty again, try to spread this defense out. Let Marcel Reed have options here.
Reed running out of time, scrambling for his life, and fires. Low throw, and Walker came back to make a nice hands catch. His second grab gives the Aggies a first down.
Well, there was some initial pressure right here from Broughton. He's able to win on that left side. Now he steps up. This is where he is so dangerous. Texas did a good job of trying to contain him, not let him step up and scramble for yards. Instead, uses his eyes downfield to eventually find the receiver for that first down. What a play.
Sharp start, 3 for 3. Again, from the pocket, on the move, launches downfield, and it's intercepted. He took a chance and pressed the ball, but Michael Taff, that smart ex-walk-on, respected leader back there with the first takeaway tonight.
Yeah, Chris, just playing center field, reading the quarterback's eyes the entire time. This gives you an idea that Marcel Reed thinks he can make these throws, but Taff does a heck of a job of just spotting that throw, showing you the range that he has, and then finishing on that to come up with the turnover for the Longhorns. The left foot down for the interception.
Taft does it all. It's his second pick. Gets after the passer occasionally. He forces fumbles. He recovers them. Blake Gideon is the only guy on the Texas staff who actually played in this game. He was a safety, and he says, this guy right there, the smartest player he's ever been around. He said, myself included.
That's impressive. Kid out of Westlake there in Austin made a big-time play.
Trying to get the left side, having no running room as Wisner, a flag is down. Cassius Howell, the Jack linebacker, made the stop. Flag at far side, just beyond the line of scrimmage. David Smith in charge of the crew tonight.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Didn't assign a number to that face mask penalty.
It came in late from upfield, not from the official right there where the tackle was made. It was thrown all the way back from the 30-yard line. And he saw it from a distance, but made the right call.
That was Howell. Gives Texas some breathing room to the 22. Wisner had his spin free, but the Aggies pursue and drop him for a loss. That was Scooby Williams, the Florida transfer.
Boy, what a job by this defense. I mean, it's you know, it tells you what from one week to the next what a defense can do when it comes to running with the football. Good reaction. Did you see that? He didn't even hesitate. As soon as Gunnar Helm went in motion, Scooby Williams just took off, expecting that quick throw. Great job of prep work this week by the linebacker, expecting that throw and making the play.
Off the play fake, Ewers from the pocket, steps up and checks it down. Helm bobbles it, but the tight end makes a grab for a short gain before Howell made the stop, and it's going to be third down. They're still right near the original line of scrimmage.
We talked this week to Sark about how you've been in a ton of big atmospheres. What's your feel this week? Are you going to ease into this atmosphere? Or are you going to be aggressive, kind of live up to your reputation? He said, hey, I trust my guys. We're not easing into anything. We're coming out because we know what we can do. Well, here they are, 3rd and 10 in their second possession. And right now this offense, they feel a little bit out of rhythm, and I think they're losing up front.
Here comes pressure. Ewers escapes it. How is that ankle feeling? Good enough to get the first down. He's still running. Tight ropes. He ran out of bounds just short of midfield, but that answers a question right there.
No doubt about it. How about Elko dialing this blitz up? I mean, they brought everybody up from the line of scrimmage, and then you see pressure that comes around. Nobody picks him up, and Chris, you're right, that right ankle, he almost loses the football, and this is not, again, what he's known for. Does a good job of keeping his feet and then doesn't give up on it, gets some good blocks downfield by his receivers. Boy, he was close to staying in bounds. Left foot is out of bounds right there. Good call by the officials to see that, but look how, well, maybe the second foot, with that block from Wingo, he had a chance for even bigger yards.
Kelvin Banks, the elite left tackle, being checked out by the athletic training staff. Boy, Rylan Kennedy whiffed on that, and a 26-yard run, that's got to be near the career long.
Oh, yeah.
With Ewers.
Yeah. You know, Banks back setting and protection with all that blitzing. I think it was an A&M defender who actually had a hold of Ewers. When he went down and came off of Ewers, his legs actually kind of whipped into Banks. Watch at the top, 78. 15 gets a chance, and on that follow through with his legs, he actually hits Banks.
Texas offensive line is excellent, and they've remained completely healthy. The same 5 guys have started every game this season. Only 8 teams in college football can say that, and this guy, as you saw, his draft status appears to be okay, nothing too serious. Don't have to go to some depth now on the offensive line, which has been rare.
He walked off. The more he started to walk, the better he looked coming off the field, which is a great sign for Texas. Remember, they allowed 7 sacks in that game against Georgia, which was at home. Now they got to handle the noise here, the 12th man, and all these exotic pressures for Mike Elko, especially on 3rd down. We saw him escape that pressure with nobody picked up that blitz.
Redshirt freshman Trevor Gooseby replaces Banks on the left side, and one of the many throws that Texas does behind the line. The catch is made by Helm, but the Aggies are all over the tight end tonight.
They sense that screen. Texas has had a lot of success this year. Marcus Ratcliffe, a safety, just kind of waiting for him. Gets help from the defensive line as well. Again, just really well prepared. Dial in on all these formations, the personnel groupings. Every look they've seen, they've been able to adjust to.
Second time a pass completion for negative yardage on this series. On 2nd and 14, they'll run it, and Weisner's loose. Bounces down to the 35-yard line. Guy who brings a lot of toughness to this running game. 22 yards.
Watch this block by Hayden Connor, the left guard, and he pulls around. Really good job of coming around. Bang, right there. Opens that hole up, and what acceleration to get through the mess.
Do the big gain tempo, handed off inside. Weisner not a hyped recruit coming out of high school by the standards of Texas. C.J. Baxter, who's been lost for the year with an injury, was a lot more talked about than this guy, but he has earned his stripes.
Oh, no doubt about it. He seems to get better and better. Another good job up front, that time by Majors, and Connor again with a double team to open that one up.
First down inside the 25, short pitch. Didn't know if his knee was down. That's DeAndre Moore when he made the catch. He said it wasn't, but he still picks up about half a yard. That's it.
Let's see, take a look. Yeah, that knee is down. Yep.
It looked like it was live. It's about a 2-yard difference.
Yeah, they're going to buzz down.
Yeah. Jim Laborde is the replay official. They'll work, of course, with the replay.
The previous play is under video review. The ruling on the field was
good job by Jim and the crew up here, because they're seeing what we saw, and you saw. I think you saw it live. That potential of that right knee touching. In a game like this, every yard counts.
Yes, so many short passes, the repertoire. So many short passes that produce long gains, a lot of yards after the catch. Can the Aggies shut that down tonight?
Yep.
It's a huge key. Georgia Bulldogs, 8 overtimes to get past Tech last night. They await the winner next Saturday afternoon in Atlanta for the SEC Championship.
What a game that was.
Craziness.
Oh, Brent Key doing a heck of a job. Georgia Tech and that program changing that culture.
Well, Ewers has completed 4 passes, all of them behind the line of scrimmage. 3 times they have lost yardage on the play. 2nd and 12. Wisner to the left, had a crease, exploding and getting downhill in a hurry to the 15-yard line.
Boy, what a job by this left side of this offensive line. Gooseby, the left tackle, who's been in there for Banks, makes a great block. Double teams, using a motion to move defenders.
Ewers from the pocket, flips it over the middle, high ball. It's batted down. He tried to loft the pass, and it was broken up by Will Lee.
We'd be very, very careful lobbing a ball late over the middle of the field.
4th down now, Kirk.
Yep,
Ewers out there.
Ewers catches a break. That should have been picked there by Lee with that late throw over the middle.
Arch Manning has come into the game. We saw Ewers take off in that long scramble, but Manning, a much more natural runner.
Yeah, that has everything to do with his legs here as a threat on 4th and short.
Jaden Blue in the backfield, along with Juan Davis, the tight end. Big moment early. Manning with a keeper, and Arch Manning still rumbling, banging down near the pylon. And spotted just short. At one play, the phenom makes a big impact.
What a job of keeping Juan Davis in that backfield. Look at the physicality of Arch Manning there. We were looking at him in warm-ups. He's a big, tall guy, but let me tell you something. He's got tree trunks as far as his legs. He uses that strength here.
Where'd he step out? He didn't.
He hit the pylon. That should be a touchdown for Arch
Got to look
Manning.
at that. He never stepped out of bounds, and the ball clearly hits the pylon.
Inbounds, reaches for the pylon. Oh, he hit the pylon. They're going to look at it. Sark's fired up himself, walks all the way down to the officials.
There was some hesitation on the call. Bill Lamagna in the booth with us tonight, Bill. They'll clean this up, you'd think, in replay.
Play is under video
no
review.
question about it. By
Ruling
rule,
on the field was the runner
he's
was
airborne,
short
he hit the pylon,
touchdown.
touchdown. Replay will reverse it.
And if it is ruled as we think a touchdown, how about Arch Manning, who comes in here, Kirk, on his first touch, scores a touchdown?
Yeah, well, again, tremendous effort. We know about his speed, but here he uses his power and then the awareness to reach there to get to the pylon. And I want to see if he hit that pylon with the ball or if he hits that with his arm.
It's important if it's the ball and not the arm,
Now
right, Bill?
Watch the ball. And the right arm hits it for sure, but I don't know if the ball hit it. That ball, he may be out.
If the right arm hit the pylons,
yeah,
but the ball is extended beyond the goal line plane, it's a touchdown.
Okay.
What if it wasn't, though? What if the right arm hits the pylon, but the ball goes out of bounds first?
If the ball, if the arm hit first and the ball is short, then it's short.
This is a lot to look at here.
Here you go, Bill. Here's your look right here. Watch where the ball is.
After video review, the runner touched the pylon, therefore he gets the goal line extended. The ball was across the goal line extended. It is a touchdown.
There you go, Bill. Good call.
Long explanation, but a correct call. And you talked about 225 pounds. One of the less appreciated aspects of his game is the power.
No doubt about it. We saw it right there. Again, we know what he can do. Look at he's got an energy about him that these players really respond to, that we'll look forward to watching, whether it's later this year or next year when he takes the reins of this offense. But he's got a very confident approach. They used his legs. Remember, that was a 4th down call that they ended up bringing him in and getting that touchdown. Something else to remember, Chris, is A&M, when they give up points since they've joined the SEC, they're 11-11. When they score first, they're 52-12.
What about that drive? Yeah, Manning punctuated it. Ewers had the 26-yard scramble. 93 yards they took it.
No doubt, and I tell you, what they end up adjusting to is more about the run game. Great block by Davis. Just kind of gets in the way, helps him with Gunnar Helm, keeps his balance, and somehow gets to that pylon for the touchdown.
That scramble, remember, early in the drive was on a 3rd and 10. Weisner had 3 runs in the drive of 10+ yards, and he said, yeah, I thought I was in.
Look at that.
A scowl.
Yeah.
Of course, his dad, Cooper, his uncles, Peyton and Eli, and his grandfather, Archie. He's got kind of a combination, would you say, of the family traits of all those quarterbacks?
I think that's fair to say. Well, I know he's got his athleticism from his dad and his grandfather. His dad could go. What a tremendous athlete he was, and obviously Arch in his day at Ole Miss and early days as a Saint, we know what he could do. But then the power and the size to go along with the athletic ability. And oh, by the way, he can throw it as well. I think that's why everyone's so excited to see what he's going to do.
Of course, we expected maybe to see him if Ewer's ankle was hampered. His ankle appears to be okay, but a situational touchdown for Manning. Back to Kevin Nagandi with a quick update.
Chris, good evening. Dr. Pepper Fansville studio update. Let's go to Ames here. And Dan, Iowa State still alive in the Big 12 race. Rocco Beck to Jaden Higgins.
Yeah, I love it. You get all-out pressure. Higgins wins on the inside, ball out on time. Beautiful throw.
Oh, Kansas State responds. Avery Johnson.
I love the switch release on a perfect ball by Avery Johnson. Easy touchdown Wildcat.
Finds Jace Brown. We're tied at 7 apiece. Back to Chris, Kirk, and Holly.
Keep you posted on that one. That's important for lots of people who care about the Big 12 race.
No doubt.
So the Aggies must fight from behind here. Late first quarter from the 25. And off inside on a short gain. Boy, when you try to nullify this massive crowd, you make a defensive stop on 4th down, you get the ground game going for the length of the field. That'll quiet the home folks.
Yeah, and a good job by Steve Sarkisian adjusting and relying on that run game, even with Banks out at left tackle.
Talked about red zone and the importance of it. Huge at each end of the field in this first quarter. Reed takes off, darts ahead. Aggies got stopped short on 4th down, and Manning for 15 yards on a 4th and 2.
Think about you're playing here in front of the 12th man. You really were controlling things here early. Good field position. Went for it down deep in Texas territory. They had the ball at the 50. Another possession, threw an interception. Texas, their own ball at the 7-yard line, and they're able to come up with a touchdown. Takes this crowd for now out of the game.
Talked about the poise and the calm, the leadership of Marcel Reed. That'll be tested off that early turnover down there in the red zone. They need 2 on this 3rd down. On the end around, battling for first down yardage is Walker, who was spun down by Anthony Hill, one-time Texas A&M recruit who flipped to Texas, top linebacker recruit in the country when he came out.
Well, he needed, we're talking about the power, Arch Manning, he needed that power there and the leverage to be able to get that first down. And anytime Marcel Reed gets under center and that jet sweep comes around, it hits so much faster. Good call there by Colin Klein on 3rd and short. Feel like they need to stretch the defense. Can somebody win against this veteran Texas secondary?
Ruben Owens, that blazing fast sophomore's in the game, but if they fake it to him, and Reed around right end picks up a solid 6-yard gain on first down before Sorrell chased him down.
Yeah, Sorrell chasing him from behind, and I keep watching the safety who came up with a pick, Michael Taft. Every single time he sees Marcel Reed keep the ball and go to the edge, it is a foot race with him coming downhill with bad intentions to try to get to Reed.
Final minute of this first quarter. Owens injured himself about the 3rd or 4th play of the first scrimmage of camp. Hadn't had a carry in a game since last season. Welcome back to college football. It's a first down run.
Yeah, when they were in camp, they really thought he was obviously their guy. Le'Veon Moss, that would have been their 1-2 punch, kind of a thunder and lightning, probably 2 of the top backs in the SEC. So great to see him back healthy and giving him some reps tonight.
Yeah, thunder. Moss scored 10 touchdowns before, sadly, his season ended. But Owens coming back, getting healthy from that Lisfranc foot injury a lot faster than you're supposed to, because this moment, this game was what he had in mind. End of the first quarter. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. You're watching the SEC on ABC. 7-0 Horns. Start of the second quarter. The SEC on ABC. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Longhorns and Aggies first meeting in 13 years. Already some fireworks in the first quarter. Defenses making a stand. Texas with a takeaway. A long touchdown drive. Now the Aggies trying to answer here. 7th play of the drive. 2nd and 8. It's Barber who went in motion. And in the slot, finding space in that zone is big Noah Thomas. Whatever impact players, he's got a first down.
Yeah, he's reading this little RPO action right here, and he's just kind of feeling the linebackers, looking to the eyes, seeing with that motion as he collapses into the run. Once he does, spit it back out away from LaFowl, 18. So good job of Marcel Reed staying on that ride, giving the linebacker enough time to commit to the run, and then pull it out and make that quick throw for the first.
Looking to throw on first down. There was quick penetration, and that was Vernon Broughton taking time away from the quarterback, messing the play up.
Boy, Broughton is so good. You know, you lose two great ones to the NFL in Sweat and Murphy. They turn to 45. Watch this move. He's got size, but he's got quickness as well. He's able to bend and get around blockers. Marcel Reed didn't have a chance when you get that kind of interior pressure.
Vernon Broughton, Alfred Collins, the guys in the middle of that defense, unsung but extremely important. And 2nd and 10, pressure comes again, and down goes Reed, and it's Vernon Broughton again, Kirk.
There he is.
Quickness.
Yeah, this time it's more about his hands. You know, you can use your hands like this to be able to get away from a big offensive lineman. You're not supposed to be able to move like that as an interior defensive end. They brought pressure there. You saw the nickel. Gilbo also came, but it's the big fella 45 on back-to-back plays stepping up for this Horns defense.
Known more for the dirty work than the splash plays, but his 2nd sack of the season. He's off getting a breather. Fresh defensive front in there on 3rd and 17. Daniels right at the line of scrimmage, brought down, but Broughton just blew up that possession, and the Aggies will punt.
He sure did. He sure did. He was everywhere on this series, and that entire defense, I think, gaining more confidence with each possession.
Holly, what do you have?
Well, guys, you can see this Texas defense really forcing Marcel Reed where they want him to go. Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator, told us we can't lose Marcel when he scrambles to his left. They want to throw him to his throwing arm, keep forcing him to that right side. That's where he was scrambling when he got the pick. You saw him do it on that series as well. That is by design by this Texas defense.
There's not much they don't know about Reed, even though he hasn't played a full season. Tyler Wright, freshman, boots it away, and he boots it too long into the end zone. So a long 49-yard punt, but the touchback. Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns back to work. 7-0 lead on the road here at Kyle Field.
Capital One cardholders can get their own rewarding performance when they redeem their credit card rewards for tickets to exclusive events and experiences on Capital One Entertainment. Scan the code on your screen to learn more. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Texas from the 20. Last possession was that 93-yard touchdown drive to take the lead. Jaden Blue joining Wisner in the backfield, flanking Ewers. And it's the first carry for Blue, who's got great speed, has had a problem with fumbles this season. Back-to-back games, they'll be ripping at the ball if they get a chance on this defense.
No doubt about that. This Texas run game, that last drive where they went 10 plays and 93 yards, 5 of the 6 runs for 10 yards or more. Wow. Been an issue for A&M all year. There's a look at Baxter right there. Been an issue for A&M all year, giving up too many explosive runs. They got to make some adjustments. stopping this run game.
Isaiah Bond was in the backfield behind Ewers, goes out in the flat, and then they get the receiver involved in an unusual way. It's a short gain. Dalton Brooks knocked him down. Third down now.
Might have been technically a part of their run game there, just kind of an extension. Get the ball out in space. Look at this 12th man coming alive on third down. Chance to get off the field.
Plenty of time on the clock. Ewers gave a clap trying to entice the Aggies to jump. Pressure comes. It's picked up. Ewers, wobbly throw across the middle, and the catch is made by Gunnar Helm. He squeezed it in between two defenders.
How did Bryce Anderson, who's playing center field, not step right in front of that? I don't even know how it got by him. Watch one. He does everything right. Step in front, pick it off, take it to the house. And somehow he's a half a step late. And how about the focus there by the big fella, Helm, holding on to that ball. I think the guy that surprised more than me is Bryce Anderson. I think he thought he had it.
That did not come out of the hand, spinning very tightly. And now Ewers will be dropped, slammed down by Torian York, the leader of this defense on the blitz, top tackler for the Aggies.
And the only way they're getting pressure right now is to bring the linebackers or bring some kind of pressure. Texas doing a good job of handling the offensive line or the defensive line, but that time, good job, almost like a delayed pressure. The back blue, not seeing him until it's too late. And York comes up with his second sack of the year.
Absolute warrior. He's part of that crew that played in that 4 overtime game. Body poked with needles, a lot of hours in the cold tub to be ready for this one. Makes a big play, get Texas behind the sticks, and now Ewers, a downfield shot, lofts it to Golden, who makes a catch. He just dropped it in a bucket, and Golden is set up at 21.
It's a scissors route. 2 receivers downfield right there, both into the boundary. Little release, kind of a switch release downfield on that scissors route. I thought he kind of quit on the route, and then he looks up and saw the balls coming his way. How about Ewers dropping that in the bucket right on the money for a huge play?
44 yards, the explosive plays, the key for Elko. Stopping them essential tonight. Give up another big one. Play fake, short throw, and Nyblack makes the catch, knocked down. A flag is back in the offensive line pit.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a late hit on the quarterback. Ewers got hit. Watch after the release, he gets hit hard, and the follow through, I think really drew the penalty.
Partial foul, roughing the passer. Number 18 on the defense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
He has second major penalty tonight. He had the face mask earlier.
Right.
Now Texas is set up in scoring position to go up 2 touchdowns.
This is what great teams do. They come into environments like this. You got to make big plays. People talking about Arch Manning. He had a nice touchdown. You wonder why Quinn Ewers is out there, has been the guy. It's because of his veteran leadership. It's because of he's been through some wars in his conference. And he doesn't let the energy of this building affect him in any way. And then he's accurate, as we saw again on this drive a few times.
Early second, Aggie defense needs to step up here. Blue plows forward, tackled for about a 3-yard gain. Albert Regis there.
Yeah, Kelvin Banks, for you Texas fans, still out. Gooseby playing very well at that left tackle spot. The redshirt freshman at 6'7", 315.
Comes Manning again, Kirk.
Yep, this is where he's dangerous. Red zone and short yardage. A&M making some adjustments. I'm sure they're very aware they've got a plan when 16 runs onto the field. Keep in mind, obviously, he can throw it as well.
Oh, yeah.
Get that zone read look and make them commit to that run, and he can throw it.
Because they made the quarterback change, the operation a little bit slowed down, and they'll spend a timeout here. Horns with a 2-quarterback system tonight, knocking on the door.
Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? In part by Fairfield by Marriott. Enjoy the home field advantage at Fairfield. And the all-new Sonic Queso Smashers. Live free, eat Sonic.
Case McCoy to scramble here. Justin Tucker, the game winner, was billed as all-time bragging rights. All-time lasted 13 years.
Love that. I love that reaction from Justin there.
Ewers is back in the game, Kirk, now.
Yep, Ewers back. A&M's defense throughout this year has been very, very sound in these areas down inside a 10-yard line.
Two-back look. From the pocket, pump fake, lofting to the back corner, caught. Incomplete. Thought he had it. They ruled him out of bounds.
It's definitely worth seeing if that right foot was in before his left foot stepped out. Watch his right foot. I think it's left. There's the right foot. That's a touchdown. Look at that toe. Has possession of the ball. That's a touchdown. And what a catch by Blue.
Sievers.
Look at this, Chris. Look at this. Left.
Off an arm.
Right foot's down.
Again, it's Anderson who was in position to make a play.
Texas, remember, their first touchdown was a review.
The
and their second touchdown is going to be on a review.
The pass was incomplete.
Talked about Jaden Blue, electric playmaker. Yeah, he's had fumble problems, but he brings a lot as a receiver out of the backfield, as does Wisner. Look at the concentration here. Is Anderson's arm did touch the football, put in.
The concentration, the ball bounces off the forearm. How about looking down and getting that right foot down and possessing the football?
Texas fans seeing that. Bill Lamagna, in your view, is there control when that right foot is on the ground here in the end zone?
I see control. Now the toe does come down first, but they got to look to see if that heel touched the white line.
Yeah,
because
the
it's
other angle
one
showed that
motion
it was
there.
Clean.
Yeah, good call, Bill. I'm focused on that toe being in and down. This is a great look to see if the heel came close. It's a right heel.
It was down, inbounds. Yeah, it's inbounds. And the pylon kind of obscures it, but the foot is not on that left side of the pylon. Bang, bang for control and foot down.
Sark, another well-conceived play. What a well-designed play, sneaking him out of the backfield.
There is a view from the field of play looking back into it.
I don't think that.
And it's tight.
Yeah, really.
I don't see the heel on the white, though. It's very, very close. I agree.
It is.
How about the toss by Ewers, by the way?
Oh, yeah, soft touch. Watch the design of the play. You know, you're going to get, of course, you're going to focus on the back sneaking out of the backfield right here. But watching the outside, this route right here draws the attention of the entire A&M, the defense, a linebacker and a safety. They react to which clears up the back to slide down on that rail route, and Blue out of the backfield makes that catch off the defender's arm. Happens to be Bryce Anderson, who missed on the interception opportunity earlier on this drive, who was in coverage there on Jaden Blue.
If it is a touchdown, this would be a really deflating series for that Aggie defense. One more look, because it was a 3rd and 7 when Helm made that catch.
Look how close.
Could have broken it up.
Yeah.
Then Golden had the 44-yarder, and then this play. They're taking a long time to sort through it.
I think what Bill said is fair. I mean, you want to try to look at every look you can on that right heel. I mean, everything we've seen, I don't see anything that makes you say.
Do you have indisputable video evidence to say he was totally in bounds?
I feel
that's
like
awful tight.
After video review, receiver had a foot down and maintained possession of the ball while going to the ground. It is a touchdown.
I give replay credit for that. Excellent job.
Well, replay has cleaned up calls, and now you got 2 Texas touchdowns.
Off the review.
And Matthew McConaughey wearing that lucky leather jacket that goes back to the championship season and before. And how about the job that this Texas team has done coming into this environment?
That, and how about the job that Sarkisian, you have a plan, and then you get into the game, and you got to make adjustments. Quinn Ewers starting to settle in, the pass game starting to settle in, but the run game really got this offense going.
Kind of a mess before the snap for the PAT. It's an 80-yard touchdown drive.
On the offense, number 80, 5-yard penalty. Replay the try.
So they had a 93-yard march late first, an 80-yard drive here in 8 plays. And Elko's team to climb out of a hole here. Texas defense setting the tone early with that 4th down stop deep in their own end.
Horns faithful taking over for now.
Auburn, the PAT from 5 yards longer. 14-0. Horns on top of the Aggies. In the spirit of the Texas A&M student section, the Moss Student Section of the Year contest, motoring down the home stretch. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. So much anticipation, so much anxiety, renewal of this rivalry. You gotta beat Texas. You gotta beat Texas. That's all Mike Elko heard from the moment he got hired, and the players have heard it too all season.
We know how powerful that can be. Saw that in Columbus today with Michigan and Ohio State.
Stone's boot to Bussey at the 5. There's a high kick, and the coverage seemed able to get down there, and Bussey fights hard up to the 24.
You know, for A&M to hang in this game and win this football game, they've got to take advantage of their opportunities. 4th down and 1, Sorrell, veteran off the edge, comes up with a big stop. That's deep in A&M territory. Here's Marcel Reed trying to make a play, plus territory, throws it downfield. Taft with the interception. He gets the ball back to Ewers. And this is that last drive. Look at this opportunity for Bryce Anderson. Step in front of that and make that play. That's not including a ball that Quinn Ewers threw late down in the red zone, late over the middle, that could have been intercepted by Will Lee. So a lot of missed chances by A&M, and now they find themselves in a 14-point hole.
Which you referred to, Kirk, tremendous front runners here.
Yep.
A 500 team, and the opponents come in and conquer this atmosphere and score first. And now it's a 2-touchdown deficit here. Texas is going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and remember, they got down 21 at Jordan-Hare last week against Auburn. Auburn and Texas are 2 different teams. They got down 21. They came all the way back and tied it up. That game ended up going to overtime. They're down 14. I don't know about you just watching. They need to respond here. They need to put a drive together. The tough thing is they're not stretching this defense. Texas is making A&M have to sustain drives and drive the field. Nothing downfield.
And the pass protection is breaking down as Burton Broughton is a serious problem for the Aggies tonight.
Yeah, mismatch in the middle with what he has done. We're so used to talking about that with Texas last year. We got a man down. Looks like they're going to get him up. Good, and that is Broughton. So good to see him get up. He has had a great game, and he's right here. Watch how he doesn't necessarily penetrate the way he was earlier. It's more of a 2-gap, waiting, and then he's able to get off using his hands. That was Collins on the inside, Broughton on the outside. The combo there in the interior defensive tackles.
Pair of sacks for Big 45 already tonight. On 3rd and long, the completion, but short of the yardage, and a flag comes in on the big hit there. Barber colliding with Jalen Gilbo, and the flag came out immediately. And stopped short of the marker.
Personal foul, targeting, number 4 on the defense.
That's Andrew Makuba. Obviously, they'll review this, and we'll get Bill's opinion. Take another look here, Kirk.
Yeah, well, usually you're used to seeing Simmons, who's a great pass rusher, come off the edge. Here, he's just spying the threat on the 3rd down of Marcel Reed taking off. So Reed's got to throw it, and then that big hit there. Bill, what do you think of that?
Here's the key to it. If he's still a receiver, he's defenseless, and there is forcible contact to the head neck area. So if he'd have dropped the ball, we'd have called it incomplete. So I say he's still a receiver. I say they confirm the call.
Here's a look at it right there.
By still a receiver, you mean he hasn't turned and started to run with the ball. He's just in the act of catching it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I say, if he would have dropped it, we said incomplete, he's still a receiver.
Kuba senior transfer from Clemson, comes in with a lot of experience in college football. He's been a key part of this defense. 4 picks this season. And if that is confirmed, he's done for the night.
He's been a great addition. They said they were so impressed by the Clemson transfer and how quickly he picked up this defense. You look at that defense with Barron, who moved from nickel out to corner, Muhammad, Taff, Gilba. This is a veteran defense. Makuba steps in, and he's just one of that group. You got really 5 guys now that are veterans.
2 big parts to this. First, Makuba is a key guy, and he'd be out if the call is confirmed. Second part of it is they had him stopped, and that hit will give them a first down and move the football out close to the 45-yard line.
After video review, there is no targeting on the play.
So forget the targeting, Bill. They take it off, and as a result, it's 4th down, and the Yankees will have to punt the football.
I'd assume they ruled that it wasn't forcible enough.
Oko does not agree with that. He's asking, is he defenseless?
Yeah. Makuba stays in the lineup.
David Smith giving him the explanation. They're still talking about it.
Sometimes you watch these and you think, oh, that was obvious. That's going to be targeting. Sometimes it's in a gray area, right?
Oko's having to be kind of restrained. He was still marching after David Smith. Hot. Now he's out on the field. He wants a more detailed explanation from Smith. Again, the difference in that being ruled no targeting is a punt versus a first down out close to midfield. Crowd chanting Elko. Could not hear what was being said there. No, I guess he was just announcing it was 4th down, which is what the yards marker has said all along. So Tyler White to boot it away. Silas Bolden for the Longhorns at the 25, and Texas defense does get a stop and a chance to really build momentum, Kirk, and build this lead before halftime. Albert Regis,
big fella,
the punt protector back there, the 300-pounder standing in front of White, who delivers an absolute bomb, but it's too good. It's too long, and it bounces into the end zone. A 69-yard punt. Second touchback tonight. Longhorns back to work. Tomorrow morning, Sunday NFL Countdown, presented by Stickers at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Story on how the former Longhorn great Bijan Robinson developed a love of acting, with Matthew McConaughey helping out. You're going to be working on a new TV series in Austin. Getting the rundown on that before the
Here we were. Loves his horns.
Like a lot of people who come from Texas and appreciate football, giddy almost pregame that these two teams are back at it. And all Texas fans excited about what they've seen so far. This offense and this running game just goes back to work. And when the Aggies have lost 3 games this season, it's been because of runs like that. They're giving up chunks on the ground.
Yep.
9 more there. Holly?
Well, guys, Kelvin Banks, the highly regarded left tackle for Texas, has gone into the locker room with what appears to be a left leg injury. The guy in there now, Trevor Goosby's done a good job. 6'7", redshirt freshman. I kept my eye on him. He's doing well.
Sure is. And this time they run it off the right side. Normally it's a left-handed running game with Banks over there. They get the first down off the right.
Yeah, and I don't sense they've adjusted at all with Goosby in there. He's doing a great job. It's amazing what Texas has faced this year at that running back position, and how they ended up with Wisner after a lot of injuries, and how well he has played for them.
This is Blue. Wisner is out of the game, being checked out by the Longhorn staff. And as Blue picks up a couple.
I remember early in the year we were in Ann Arbor for a Texas game, and they started to realize these injuries are starting to really add up. C.J. Baxter was going to be a big part of this, and that's the first time we saw Jarrett Gibson, true freshman, play that day early against Michigan.
They fake it to Blue. Ewers has time, launches downfield. Catch made on the run by Ryan Wingo. And the speedy freshman motors down the sidelines, run out at the 30 after a 35-yard chunk.
Well, if you look at the tempo, I think, affects this defense. Look at them looking around. Nobody picks up this deep crosser. Linebackers and safeties, it's a late adjustment by the linebacker who has no chance, Scooby Williams, of staying with a true freshman. Wingo is special. Great job of getting behind a backer.
Aggie defense reeling, barely getting lined up for this play, but making a play in the backfield. That was Cassius Howell, who's been flagged a couple of times tonight with a tackle for loss. They'll lose 4.
He tackles Blue, but he also tackles the quarterback. Ewers, watch him collapse on the edge. The guard pulling out, he has no chance. He takes everybody down. I'm taking everybody. I don't care who has the ball. Someone's going down.
That's an important play to get the Longhorn offense behind the sticks here. If they do not want to go down 3 touchdowns and have Texas get the football to begin the second half as well. Off the fake, Ewers. Well, Blue was well covered. No one was fooled on that play. Heavy pressure was coming. It was Rodas Johnson, and now a scuffle on the far side, the Longhorn bench.
Yeah, there they are.
You know, we've seen tempers erupt and flare in the Iron Bowl, and of course the ugly scene earlier at the end of the Buckeyes-Wolverines battle.
Yeah, this was downfield with the receiver and the DB. Watch him turn and run towards him. Will Lee pushes the receiver. Now you see the Texas players. That was Silas Bolden reacting.
Lee's highly outnumbered in there.
Howell's trying to get him out of there. The last thing you want after a great play like that. Look at this. It's 3rd down and 14. Can you imagine getting a dead ball, 15-yard penalty, dead ball foul, automatic first down. So Howell does a good job of getting his teammate out of there to set up this 3rd down.
3rd and long, and very much fringe field goal range for Bert Auburn. To be a 52-yarder from here. Ewers doesn't want to take a sack and go backwards, but instead finds Gunnar Helm, who hurdles a man and converts on 3rd and 14. Picks up 22.
What a play by Ewers. Here's the receiver that ends up making the play, actually the tight end Helm. Watch him play with this defender right here. You going to take me, or are you going to take the tight end? You're going to take me? No problem. Great patience there by Ewers to bait him and then make this throw. He knew exactly where he was, has time. See that little step to the right, behind the line. Great job, great vision.
Right up and over Will Lee. Wisner's back in the game on 1st down. Manning's in the game as well, and Arch Manning scrambles this time, cannot escape. He's brought down by Lee through a short gain.
Yeah, QB counter there. That's the threat that he brings. What a different defense, or this defense, what a different approach you have to have when you go from Ewers, pro style, in the pocket, handing it off, distributor, to now here comes Arch Manning. You got to instantly switch gears and get ready for quarterback counter and the threat of what he can do running and throwing. Very different style of offense with 16 in.
Ewers back in. Wisner's got the ball, started left, stopped, and then plows forward for a couple. The ball come out.
Now they're down under the goalpost again, going at it. These Texas receivers, that was Matthew Bolden running a route. See, gets tangled up again.
My goodness, that was a body slam here. Watch this. Slings down Golden. Lee's right on the edge.
Will Lee again. Lee was involved in the last one. He's involved in it again here.
It is getting feisty as the Longhorns look to build this lead. The 2-minute timeout in College Station. Horns up 2 scores. Two minutes in the first half, dominated by Texas. Longhorns on their 3rd long march tonight, trying to build a 3-touchdown lead before the break. 3rd and 6 coming up, and someone in a maroon shirt's going to have to make a play here.
Scorton off the edge has had a quiet night. We haven't even said Shamar Turner's name in the interior. somebody's got to get him off his spot and bring pressure.
Wisner's got it, but he does not have first down yardage. He fought hard to dive to the 5, but it looks like Sarkisian will set up for a field goal at this point.
A&M's going to call a timeout, obviously, to save as much time as they can. That takes them. They're done with their timeouts. Boy, Albert Reed just made a great play. Not surprised at all there by that run.
You know, we saw Texas fall way behind at home against Georgia. They ended up clawing back. It was a 15-point margin. People have been skeptical about this team and the resume they put together. I know it's only a half, long way to go, but you're getting a glimpse of what the Longhorns look like when they actually play with all 3 phases a complete game.
And I think that was the question, because they haven't always had the great challenge. Sark's the first one to tell you that. But you're right, in this environment, they got off to a little bit of a slow start, kind of recalibrated, found their running game, which opened up other aspects for Ewers. But, man, when this defense, all I heard from people was, well, their defense is good, but who have they really faced? Well, they look really, really good. This is an elite defense that we're watching.
By the way, the offense is out there. Quinn Ewers at quarterback, so Sarkisian, an aggressive call here. They need every bit of 3 yards. Got to get inside the 3 for a first down. Just forget the field goal. Unless they're just trying to draw him off. It's Juan Davis, the tight end, shifting around. And a bunch of clapping and a lot of screaming. But no play so far.
No, Sark waved it off. He said, that's it.
Yeah. Well, it's a good effort to try to get a first and goal, but I think up 14, knowing you can get a football back for the 3rd quarter, it's sensible play is to take the 3 here.
Yeah, absolutely. But before you do that, why not try to get a gift and see if you can get A&M an aggressive defense to jump, get the ball to start the second half. You go up by 17. We'll see what A&M can do in this last 155 without timeouts.
Talk about this, Texas defense. 3rd in points allowed after Ohio State and Notre Dame. Pitching a shutout as Auburn with a chip shot does slide it inside the right upright. And Texas builds it to 17-0. Aggies with 1:50 to work with before halftime, when we'll hear from Kevin Negandhi. Hear from him right now, as a matter of fact.
Hey, Chris, Capital One halftime report minutes away. Dan, Booger, Kevin in studio. Rivalry weekend. We love it on the field. It's the post-game stuff that's like very ugly. We'll take a closer look. What's missing right now from A&M? What are you seeing?
A&M needs some explosive plays. Texas' safeties are starting to come downhill. They got to back them up. Throw the football down the field with Reed.
I love the addition of Arch Manning to this Texas offense down in the red zone. That 4th and goal or 4th and 2. Changed everything.
Yeah.
And looking forward, it gives Georgia and Kirby Smart something to pay attention and prep for.
All right, we'll see you at the half. Back to you, Chris and Kirk.
Yeah, the explosive not happening. The longest run, Kirk, for the Aggies tonight, 7 yards. That was by Reed. They have one sort of downfield shot. Terry Bussey had the 27-yard gain, but that's been it.
Well, that's the challenge for A&M all year. They haven't created many explosives, and it's a bad combo in Texas. That's their strength as a defense. They don't give up any explosives.
Short kick, fair caught by Donota. Here's the Modelo playbook.
Yeah, this is surprising. We've seen some mobility here. Even with the Gimpy right ankle, he almost stayed in bounds here and got a really big gain, but a little bit of surprise with the mobility. There's the accuracy downfield. It's so good when he has time to throw. What a catch there. What an adjustment by Blue out of the backfield. There's the pocket presence, kind of baits that linebacker to him, gets it to Helm with a little hurdle there. So just really in command after a bit of a slow start on the road in a tough environment, taking a crowd out of the game. It's been all Texas since.
Efficient in the red zone, settling for 3 there, but 2 touchdowns and a field goal in their 3 trips. Aggies empty, stopped on 4th down, and their 1 red zone trip so far.
No, they're winning at the line of scrimmage, and they're forcing Reed a lot of times to get out of there because they're playing mix of coverages. A lot of times they don't have to play a ton of man. I mean, they are a defense that can play zone or man, but when you're winning and getting pressure, boy, it frees you up to protect yourself against deep shots with deeper safeties, and he has to settle for everything underneath.
The intermediate routes are ones that Reed's had some success with, and are sometimes available against this defense. Hasn't really clicked tonight. There's a short pass, and Trey Watson, the tight end, makes the grab, gets out of bounds to preserve some time after a 6-yard gain, but it's going to be 3rd and 3.
When it comes to explosives, Texas all year has given up one run of 20 yards or more. They're number 1 in the country.
Incredible.
21 passes of 20 yards or more. They're number 3 in the country, and all in only 22 explosives on the year, number 1 in the country. So it's not easy to get the ball downfield against the Horns.
He's trying to get a first down and keep from giving the football back to Texas. Longhorns have all 3 timeouts left, by the way. 3-man rush, long throw to the far side, and the catch is made for a first down by Barber.
Yeah, good job. It's a long throw from the right hash there to get that ball to get just enough for that first down. Looked like he may have bobbled it initially, but is able to secure it. Minute 33, no timeouts at the very least. Like you said, they're trying to get into field goal range, just get on the board.
E.J. Smith, grad transfer from Sanford, son of Emmitt Smith in the ball game. He goes out in the pattern, but Reed's got a lot of room, takes off scrambling, and to his right, that's where he's effective. Ran a long way for a short gain, picked up just 1.
Yeah, again, able to get pressure. That time it was Trey Moore. They're sitting back there with 2 high safety look, 2 safeties back to take anything away downfield, matching up those underneath short and intermediate routes. So Marcel Reed, who has a tendency to want to get out of the pocket if primary is not open, he's rolling a lot and rolling to his right a lot.
Rush is picked up. Reed again rolls out. That time dips under a defender and accelerates for a nice gain out near the marker at the 46. Picked up 8. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, and the clock keeps moving. He's got to be aware of that, have a little bit of urgency, and he does, just short of that marker.
And they'll pick up the first down with Smith.
Yeah, good tough run there by E.J. Smith. Ran right over the linebacker to stop the clock. See what the young quarterback goes with. Gets the play called as that clock is stopped.
No pressure, short throw, but fighting to get out of bounds after making a catch is Theo Malin Olstrom, the tight end from Sweden.
Yeah, he did a heck of a job to get out of bounds. I thought he might get tackled inbounds. With being out of timeouts, every second counts for this A&M offense. Remember, Marcel Reed, a young quarterback, 6'2", 180, out of Nashville, Montgomery Bell Academy. Hasn't been in these situations a ton. Let's see how he performs here in this rivalry game. Down 17, obvious pass mode.
Pressure comes. Reed steps up and flips it to E.J. Smith, who gets out of bounds, getting closer to field goal range for Randy Bond, who's a reliable kicker. Need to get maybe about 10 more yards to feel comfortable about it.
He kind of is still locking in on the one receiver. If he would have looked at the middle of the field there, he had an open receiver again. So I remember I talked to you about split safeties, 2 high safeties. He had a receiver right down the middle of the field.
44 seconds left. Need 2 to get the first. Again, the check down to Smith, and Texas closes him down and knocks him out short of the marker. Michael Taft made the play, and now it's 4th down. And if Elko decides to go for it here and they don't get it, Texas has got good field position and 3 timeouts. But down 17, the offense is out there. Need a long 3. Reed protected. Thinks about scrambling, takes off, slides down, did not get there. Baron Sorrell closed him down, took a shot, kind of went in awkwardly feet first, but did not get it, and Texas will take over as Reed limps off the field.
You cannot say enough about this Texas pass rush against a very athletic capable quarterback in being able to get away from pressure. They're not getting upfield. Looks like he came down and before they even got to him. Looks like he kind of landed awkwardly there.
Yeah, he takes a step there. His heel was hit by the top of his left foot.
Yeah. But again, the importance of when you have a quarterback like this, you cannot get upfield, right? You've got to be able to squeeze instead of worrying about that, and that's what they do. They keep him in the pocket.
How do you feel about the jugular if you're Steve Sarkisian?
Oh, you know he's going to go for that.
And they actually keep it on the ground. They do have the 3 timeouts to work with.
Yeah, he's already called a timeout.
But set up with that second 4th down stop for the Texas defense, getting close to midfield, and again, get the football right back to begin the 3rd quarter. Sarkisian, very aggressive play caller, and he's got total trust in Quinn Ewers tonight, who has looked just fine, thank you, coming in with that ankle concern, wearing that brace.
Chris, I just want to take a quick peek. He looked, this is the AT&T clicker, he's had tendency to continue to look to his right. This is the receiver I'm talking about, where if he would have stayed in the pocket, stepped up and just stayed right there. See how he's looking right? If he steps up with the safety coming down, look at that throw right there. He could have potentially found that for a touchdown.
It's all moving pretty quick for him tonight.
It is. Credit to Texas.
27 seconds and 2 timeouts. Ewers from the pocket will loft it downfield in the coverage. That was DeAndre Moore trying to fight back to the football. Well covered by B.J. Mays.
Well, they have a collection of receivers, don't they? When Sark has these guys healthy, Isaiah Bond, DeAndre Moore, Ryan Wingo, the true freshman, Matthew Golden, Silas Bolden, Gunnar Helm. What a group.
Both Moore and Bond, as you mentioned, coming back off injuries, looking better tonight, as healthy as they've been.
Yep. Then you add the backs with Blue and Wisner. This is a collection of skill.
Important play, pressure on 3rd and 9. Wisner on the check down, rumbling into the secondary, still going, 1st down, and deep into Aggie territory, down to 12 seconds off the 24-yard gain.
This is why Sark is known as one of the best screen coaches in the game. 3rd down, you almost know there's the threat of this going with his reputation. Look at the acceleration. Great convoy downfield. He was patient, let the blocks establish themselves, and then got upfield and picked up such valuable yardage. But a great call, again, by Sark there, going with the screen game and getting those linemen downfield.
You're right, the convoy was all set up. Helm was joining the big offensive lineman. And now they got 12 seconds, 1 timeout still to work with. Holly?
Well, guys, you see Quinn Ewers continue to be mobile, extend plays, really moving well. He is wearing a revolutionary ankle brace that was developed by an athletic trainer and a doctor, Fred Furlick from Notre Dame. It is on the outside of his shoe. It's got a joint on it, so it allows the shoe complete, or the foot complete movement outside of the shoe. It is protective, and it is really allowing him to look comfortable out there. Really revolutionary product from Takeo.
We thank Reese Davis for checking in with that old tip for us.
Well, congrats to Dr. Furlick. That is a great device.
1st down. Ewers loops the ball just over the reach there of Bond, and it's down to 7 seconds. They're kind of in the range where pregame Bert Armour was kicking field goals. It's about a 51-yarder if they tried it from here.
Boy, did Will Lee take a chance at the line of scrimmage, lunging at the receiver. If he doesn't get him, if Bond's able to avoid him, he is downfield. You talked about going for the jugular. You knew Sark would. 7 seconds to go here. Still have 1 timeout remaining.
Let's see if they go for a shorter route to make it a closer field goal attempt, or just keep it on the ground with Wisner, who's knocked down at the 30, and Sarkisian spends the final timeout with 3 seconds and tries for 3 points from Auburn here.
Well, that's about as good of a half of football in this environment in a rivalry game that Sark could have hoped for. The operation of it in this environment, including Sark himself as a play caller, just absolutely flawless. They've taken his 12th man out of the game. They go to the showers. They make this up 20, and they get the ball to start the 2nd half.
28 earlier, this from 48. A 20-point lead at halftime. On the way, started right, stayed right. So something the Aggies faithful to cheer about, but you are right, Kirk, to come into this environment, this massive place, deafening crowd energy, and play like that in the first half can't do much better than the Longhorns. Holly?
Well, Coach, how would you describe the play of your quarterback position from Quinn Ewers' command of this offense to using Arch in the red zone? How does it stand out?
Well, I think they're both playing good football. You know, Quinn is moving well in the pocket. He's taking advantage of some shots downfield, and he's being efficient. You know, and Arch is, he's got a great athleticism. We're just trying to use him as a little change-up.
Your defense has been in command. What stands out there?
Well, we're winning on first and second down, and then the key to the drill is winning on third down. But a couple of that big stop, the start, and then the turnover was big as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
Winning on every down. They're winning on fourth down, too. They have 2 fourth down stops. All right, Aggies, a lot of work to do as this rivalry is reignited here. End of the first half. Capital One halftime report is coming up after these messages. You are watching the SEC on ABC.
You're watching Rivalry Week, presented by Fairfield by Marriott.
Set for the second half here. The SEC on ABC. Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Part of Rivalry Week. Presented by Fairfield by Marriott. Well, an early fourth down stop by the Texas defense got him going. Then Quinn Ewers in the first half. 11 of 17 through a touchdown pass and a 26-yard scramble in their first scoring drive. Marcel Reed has struggled to make plays downfield. It's Ewers and the Horns with the football first.
Everybody has struggled, like we talked about in the first half, to get the ball downfield against this really talented veteran Texas defense. First thing that has to happen for A&M is they got to slow down Ewers in this offense. It's Sark right now. He and Ewers just seem to really have a feel. What adjustments will Mike Elko make? One of the best defensive minds in college football. You know, they need some help right now. You know, talk about complementary football. A&M, don't you feel like they need a big play, get the crowd back in the game? It would have to be from their defense, try to create a turnover. And meanwhile, Ewers is thinking about a big play.
Matthew Golden trying to make a big play on the return, did get the edge, and he's forced out at the 29. As we check in with Holly, what did you learn at the break, Holly?
Well, I checked on the health of Marcel Reed. He did get banged up at the end of the half. He said he is good to go. He did get a little bit of an injury, though, to a lower leg. And Mike Elko said we have got to do a better job putting stress on this Texas defense. We are not completing plays on third down, putting them in conflict. We have also got to improve defensively. Important to note, Jaden Hill, one of their important members of the secondary, has not played a snap in this game. He warmed up. He's been unable to go, and that is hurting this secondary of Texas A&M. Got to stop letting the ball go over their heads, and that's a big reason why.
Yeah, very experienced corner not able to go tonight. And the Longhorns on a play fake on first down. It's Gunnar Helm. You know, Mike Elko joked yesterday his team did make adjustments after halftime against LSU. They were in trouble. They came back, but really smothered the Bayou Bengals offense by switching some things up after halftime.
Yeah. I mean, he has a great reputation for doing that. There's a look at Hill right there, unable to go. Small thing, but the first call, a play-action pass to set the tone by Sark.
And they hand off to Wisner, smacked hard. He's right near the marker.
And really the reason I say that is because you got a 17-point lead. You're on the road, tough environment, yada, yada, yada. And instead of being like, yeah, we're going to work the clock and, you know, just let's be careful. Let's not turn it over. Instead, he, like I said, he kind of sets the tone, sends a message. Very first play action to Gunnar Helm, and picks up huge yards. And now they get a first down in the next play.
Talked about the jugular. They went for that shot, didn't connect before halftime, eventually missed a field goal. But a chance to really put the Aggies in a serious hole. And there is a downfield throw. A flag comes in. Isaiah Bond was just grabbed by B.J. Mays.
Yeah, he has really struggled in that area. He has 3 interceptions on the year, but the transfer from UAB, I think, is a liability with Jaden Hill out. Normally he would be there. And how about Texas? They know that's a concern, so they're going right after him.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 20. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
You mentioned how many weapons Ewers has to work with in this passing game. Bond really hasn't had a big game yet, but Always got to respect his speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Bond out there isolated, that is a favorable matchup. You can see the left hand there. He grabs on to Bond. Again, aggressive approach by Sark and Ewers.
Penalty sets up the Longhorns in Aggie territory. Another first down. Play fake ball batted down at the line. That was a big play by Albert Regis. His helm was, like he was open there.
So 1st and 10. Your aggressive defense. Look at this aggressive defense, but look what's behind it. If he's able to make this throw over top of that defensive lineman, there's nobody there. Boy, did A&M catch a break by the big fella, Regis.
Wisner weaving and lowers the shoulder and bangs forward for about 7 before Ratcliffe got him down. Here's a 3rd down coming up.
Such a big part of this offense, the aggressive approach, the ability to stretch defenses, keep them guessing on the play calling. Sark now has called 40 plays, 21 runs, 19 passes.
Ryan Wingo was in the backfield. Now he's in the pattern. Ewers has all kinds of time against a 3-man rush. Rolled out, could have maybe taken off and run for it, but he flipped it incomplete to Wisner. And now it's 4th down at the 40.
Yeah, good job on that defense. They ran a mesh route, expecting mesh meaning a receiver from the right, receiver from the left, kind of crossing underneath, expecting man coverage, but it was zone. He had nowhere to go with the ball. He tried to check it down. Wisner unable to hold on to it, but A&M, they did their job defensively, got him off the field.
Sarkisian trying to pin him deep with Michael Kern on this 4th and 3. Why not trust this defense that has been suffocating so far tonight? Kern may have kicked it too far. Yeah, it bounces into the end zone. Neither punter's done a very good job of knocking it dead deep tonight, so that's another break for A&M. And their first possession, the 3rd quarter, trying to climb all the way back and keep their playoff hopes alive. What's at stake? Obviously, the winner goes to Atlanta to take on Georgia. But for Texas A&M, Kirk, with that early loss to Notre Dame and 2 SEC losses, they're fighting for their playoff lives here. A loss here, most feel would doom them.
Oh, they're out.
Late season losses.
Yeah, they lose. They're done as far as the playoff is concerned. They're playing for a right to get to Atlanta and a right to have a chance to play Georgia to win it and get to the playoff. They lose tonight, they're done.
Most believe they need to win tonight and beat the Bulldogs.
Yeah. See how they respond here. Chris, first time chance to have the football. Colin Klein and his offense not able to get the ball downfield at all, whether on the ground or through the air. Give a lot of credit to Texas. A lot of great coverage. Went in the line of scrimmage, getting pressure on Marcel Reed, forced him out of that pocket. You know, he was looking at primary. If it wasn't there, he was bailing, getting out very early. So they try to combat that.
Reed has the pocket collapsed, but he escapes to his left. Marcel Reed sprinting into the secondary, takes a shot, but a first down near midfield, the spark they needed. He got 24.
And one of the first times we've seen him step up and out to the left. We bragged on Texas doing a good job. See all those lanes? See how he's able to step up, playing man coverage? A lot of defenders with their backs to the quarterback. The spy not there to slow him down. They tried to use Anthony Hill, but he's able to outrun him. So a big play there by the young quarterback.
Bussey in the backfield, fresh troops for Texas after chasing down the quarterback. They got some new big guys in there. And direct snap, Bussey. One of the wrinkles, he's a guy that was recruited as an athlete, plays some DB. He can play running back, he can play receiver, he's the returner. He can take the snap.
Do it all. Meanwhile, watch this. You think he's fooled? Before the ball's even snapped, Genda's already on a sprint. I mean, those linebackers, they were not surprised at all by Bussey taking that direct snap. Look at both of them. Hill and Genda are able to make that, Benda able to make that play.
Well-schooled defense, and Pete Kwiatkowski, this team is ready for what A&M has shown them tonight. Mentally and physically ready. Reed has a ball batted in the air, and it's dropped. Oh, a great chance for interception off the deflection. And he could not hold on.
Like big Alfred Collins was able to get his hand up there and knock that down. 95. There he is right there. And How about the recognition by Sorrell? He did the tough job locating the ball. It's in his hands. That's an interception. Oh, boy, every defensive lineman's dream of a tip ball. It just happens to go his way, and he just doesn't secure it. Here we go, a big third down.
It gives the Aggies life. And they pick up the 8 here. Reed is pressured. It was enough to affect the show. The throw and the check down to Daniels is incomplete. 4th down.
Well, that time they spied him. They didn't blitz. They rushed 4. They use Anthony Hill right here. Just kind of walks up, looking, waiting for that threat, and then makes him have to get rid of that football. Good job again by this Texas defense. Being able to apply the pressure with 4, taking the shots away downfield with his safeties, and then having a spy there to take away the creativity, Marcel Reed.
Talked about coming from 21 down, eventually losing in 4 overtimes to Auburn. This is a much tougher proposition against Texas. And a missed opportunity there to chip away in their first possession of the second half. Punt fair caught by Bolden at the 15. Myles Garrett, former Aggie, and the Browns in Denver to take on the Broncos and Bo Nix. Monday night countdown at 6. The Browns and Broncos at 8 on ESPN, the Bortis, and streaming live on the app. Browns and the Steelers last week in the snow. Cleveland showing some fight there.
They did. Jameis Winston has brought a spark to that offense. I called that game a week ago in that snow globe. And I'll tell you, Bo Nix with Sean Payton gets better every single week. That'll be a great matchup on Monday night.
From the 15, Aggie crowd just trying to make a difference here. They're desperate to get a spark here, but Matthew Golden weaves his way for a short gain.
It's a lot of weaving his way there for a gain of 4 or 5. But positive yardage to get this drive started. Remember what Sark told Holly Rowe about him managing this game, not turning it over.
Cutting back. Wisner's got a first down. Bouncing off people, delivering blows. Lowered the shoulder and smashed into Dalton Brooks. Picked up 16 more.
What a feel. Gooseby right here, able to sustain that back edge. See that left side, and how about the vision of Wisner goes all the way to the backside. First down.
No throttling back. They're playing with tempo, and Ewers across the middle. Felt the pressure closing in, and too high for Ari Nyblock that time.
This defense is struggling to get the pressure. The edge of the defense, you know, whether it's Shamar Stewart, Nick Scorton, you'd expect more pressure. Late hands there, or that would have been a big gain.
Just the 1 sack tonight against Ewers. It was early in the game. Snap was bobbled, pitched on the edge, and Wisner's going to be slung down at the line of scrimmage by Cassius Howell. Almost a costly mistake there.
Yeah, he did a good job at actually getting off the block. You're right, the snap a little bit to the right. Good job. Then it's bobbled. Good job.
The nose of the ball.
Securing that and getting it out to the back. You're right.
3rd and 8 now. Chance for A&M to get off the field, and they bring pressure after Ewers, who's got a whole lot of room to run. Bad ankle or not, he's scrambled for a first down again. 2nd time tonight. Got loose for 8 yards.
Well, they're in man-to-man coverage. I think they're just not even considering the fact you get these receivers going downfield. They're blitzing. So once he's able to see that good feel, he knows he's got this. And again, this guy can run. He's a better athlete than people realize. I think he's tired of hearing about how great Arch Manning is as a runner. Tonight, he wanted to show people he can run himself. Knew exactly where he needed to go for the first down.
He did, and a great look from that camera along the sideline there. There's Wisner breaking free. And they're starting to lean on this A&M front. Picked up 12 more.
A good double team there by Connor and Jake Majors. See the center and the left guard. They work right here, then climb up to the linebacker. And he doesn't need much. Boy, he accelerates again and gets north and south.
Talk about a back on a hot streak. Kirk ran for 158. Kentucky's front isn't that bad. And he had a career high last week, over 100 yards again tonight, 111 and counting.
Yeah, he has really become a workhorse with all the injuries that they have in the backfield. Blue comes in for him, give him a chance to catch his breath. What a stud.
Respected guy because he was knocking people around on special teams a year ago, way down the depth chart.
Usually how it works. Those guys, when they get a chance, they don't let go of it.
Empty backfield, 3-man rush, ball out quickly, catch made. It's Golden, down inside the 15, and Texas throwing haymakers, trying to really put the Aggies on the ropes. 25 more.
Great timing here with Quinn Ewers. The ball is out now to that outside shoulder. Give him a chance after the catch. These guys are so dangerous. If you're on an island as a corner, you better be ready to tackle. What a job of catching it on time and then shaking that corner and getting upfield for more yards. Turner down.
Yeah, Shamar Turner, who can be a game wrecker, has had a quiet evening. They've contained number 5 tonight, and he is having his leg checked out by the athletic training staff. Longhorns on the march.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One, is brought to you by Dell Technologies. Welcome to now. And Jersey Mike Subs, be a sub above.
They'll practice at 5:30, and the fireworks inside Kyle Field. Very few of those for the Aggies offense tonight, and the defense trying to make a play as Arch Manning is in there. Texas set up with a first down at the 13. Kirk, you go up 24-0. The way this defense is playing, a monumental task for the Aggies.
Yep.
At the 15-yard touchdown run earlier, and a flinch. So this is going to be behind the sticks on first down. Kelvin Banks, by the way, has come out of the locker room in sweatpants. The top-rated offensive line prospect in the draft board, number 10 overall. Can't see it, but he's got a walking boot on his left leg. You hope it's just a precaution.
On the
nothing serious.
Number 74.
That's Gooseby, who
first down
is in for him. One of the few mistakes. There's the walking boot there on the left leg. There's the left side here. Real last play here. See the movement from A&M. Crowd noise a factor. Other than that, Gooseby's been really playing well. They're standing in for Banks.
See if we get Manning's first pass attempt of the night. No, he was going to keep it on the zone read, and Torian York is all over the young quarterback. Drops him for a loss.
Yeah, it was good assignment football because you had one guy on the back, you had another guy on the quarterback, just in case the quarterback kept it, and it was York that leads him in tackles.
Holly, back to you.
Well, guys, Steve Sarkisian is furious with the officials right now. Texas A&M keeps playing music during their offensive series. It ran all the way up till a few seconds left on the play clock. His offense can't hear and communicate. He's trying to get the officials to enforce them to stop the music earlier.
Yeah, Nick Saban brought that up on College Game Day this morning when his Bama teams would come in here. They said he'd pipe in that crowd noise.
We're up in the club here. They got the bass thumping. Wow. The Ewers is back in the game. Wingo's got the ball. Ryan Wingo. That'll quiet folks down as he gets down to the 7, 14 more.
Boy, how about the motion there by Sark to get the young freshman? A little delay. You keep going. A&M does not adjust. You got Helm in front. Not enough defenders. That is all about the pre-snap movement. Again, Sark is so well known for the way he can scheme up and create matchups. Goes from second and long to now 3rd and 4. Again, yards after the catch.
4th red zone trip for Texas. They've been efficient so far tonight. Ewers facing pressure. Ball deflected. It's intercepted. The flag is down, and Will Lee, the 3rd, is headed for the end zone. Texas A&M makes the play they desperately needed. A pick 6.
They got a hold here on Texas. They got a flag down. It looks like a hold to me. We'll see. Yep. There you go.
The play they desperately needed. Will Lee's had a tough night, Kirk, but off the deflection, makes the easy pick and sprints the other way.
We were talking at halftime about what does A&M do offensively to get back in the game, and we said it on the air. Their defense is going to have to make a play. Somebody's going to have to step up and make a play, create a turnover, get points on the board, and more importantly, get the crowd back into this game. Ewers tried to really took a chance on that throw. He got pressured and he just kind of floated it out there.
What a swing. Instead of potentially 24-0, it is a 10-point game.
They've been rolling the dice here by bringing pressure. And this time it was York who they bring to be able to get the pressure. He comes right in here. You'll see 52 hold him. Watch Ewers kind of just flip it out there. Ball gets deflected. It goes into the air, and Lee steps in front of it. The gift, he turns into 6 points and a touchdown. They're down 10.
This rivalry reborn and this place reignited by this play.
Yeah, DJ Hicks got a hand on that football to knock it into the air. And Will Lee, you and I were just saying, boy, he's had a night where he's been involved in some extracurricular activities. Elko fired up that he finally gets the break from his defense to get him back into this game and get the crowd back in here.
Yeah, Lee had been scuffling and scrapping. Finally does something a lot more productive. A 93-yard pick six. It's the longest for the Aggies since 1992. Ewers, kind of a calm look at his face, measured over there, but back to work, and suddenly a 10-point game.
Yeah, what a cool camera that is, by the way. But he is a flatliner emotionally. I wouldn't expect anything less from him or Sark and how they come back out here. But the crowd is good. It's bouncing. I mean, it's different right now. See how they respond to this and how this defense responds. What a scene right now.
We'll go right back to the running game. Wisner has been such a huge piece tonight, picking up useful chunks like that and ripping off gains of longer than 10 yards frequently tonight.
Yeah, it helps when that offensive line is winning up front. Gunnar Helm on that big wham block inside on a linebacker.
Keep it on the ground. Turner makes the stop, and a 3rd and 2 now. Texas quiet this crowd, or will a 3 and out make this place even more unhinged? Wisner again, hand it to him 3 straight times and get the drive going.
Impressive. Great job by this offensive line. Again, I keep saying Hayden Connor at left guard. Guys had a heck of a game. Zone blocks, just kind of respond to where this A&M defensive line, you just want to get them on skates, push them sideways. He did his job, and Wisner cut off of that block to get upfield for that first.
Remember what Texas has done the last couple of games. This offensive line has taken over and bludgeoned people late in games to secure victories over Arkansas and Kentucky. Blue takes the pitch, and he's knocked down. How about that drive where the Wildcats had battled back to make it close? 15 straight runs, 86-yard drive, 8.5 minutes almost to just run things out and finish the game. Impressive.
And they had done it against Arkansas.
Yeah.
You know, where we're going to run the football and you can't stop us. You know, that's what makes this team who they are. Now they're going to be tested here in this second half, but that offensive line is a big piece of this and how they attack, not just with the quarterback.
Jarrett Gibson in the game. Both Wisner and Blue out that time. Gibson is a freshman out of Gainesville, Florida, and it's going to be another 3rd down and short here. They'll need 2.
It's good to see Wisner back. The last time he got tackled, he went off the field. It was a little bit of a limp going off the sideline, going onto the sideline. Good to see him back out there.
Turner trots back in, and now
they got 12 minutes.
Ups, that's a problem. He didn't get off. The sack, the ball is knocked down. Texas recovers it, but that's going to be a penalty on the Aggies. Little miscommunication on that defensive side. It's a big 300-pounder trying to go on and then do a U-turn.
No, Turner came onto the field, but nobody came off the field.
So that's going to negate the strip sack and give Texas a 1st down.
12 players on the field at the snap. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Gives them a 1st down.
Here's Turner right here. This is as the previous play happened. Look at Texas. They're already ready to go. Here he is coming on the field. He's trying to communicate. Nobody's responding. So he's got to get off the field. There's no chance of getting off the field.
Regis is waving him off.
Yeah, but even by then, they had no chance. That's a miscommunication. At a critical moment, by the way, on third down, they had come up with a stop.
Unforced error puts Texas at midfield. Inside of 3 minutes now in the quarter. Quick throw. Helms got it. Stiff arm. And they never do get him down. He's spun out of bounds after a 13-yard gain by Des Ricks. Another first down.
Well, what a throw. And that's just feeling this linebacker blitzing. He knows it's basically like a hot. He knows he sees that linebacker, the awareness. But now you got to deal with he's getting into your face right as you throw that football. Keep your focus downfield and make an accurate throw.
Wisner makes a cut, just gets downhill in a hurry and rolls for about 6 more. Holly?
Well, Gunnar Helm has become such a weapon for this Texas offense. It all started in his exit meeting after the season last year. Coach Sarkisian went down a form that he has for him. You've got to do better in this, and this. Most of it was changing his body, becoming more athletic, becoming more mobile. And that play where he's spinning around, tackle downfield, that was exactly a prime example.
You fake it to Wisner and pitch it downfield, and the catch is made by DeAndre Moore. And Mays forces him out, but the Longhorns are rolling. How costly was that too many men on the field penalty?
Now they keep, yeah, you're right. They keep going after B.J. Mays. The motion here creates this matchup. Motion, very important. We got a man down, and it is B.J. Mays. See, that motion created this matchup against Mays. You see how that's who they want to attack because you can get some separation. Good route by Moore. And that's where Mays goes down.
We talked about managing the energy as a visitor here in this highly emotional game. Texas gets off to the good start. Then A&M makes the play to get back into the game. The pick six. Ewers had that look in his face. And what an impressive drive by this offense, mixing run and pass. They've already moved it 56 yards back into scoring position.
Yeah, again, this is a veteran team. You got a veteran quarterback, a veteran offensive line. They really aren't going to blink no matter what they face. And one thing I'm starting to see, good to see Mays hopefully get up. One thing I'm starting to see, I don't know if you're feeling this, Sark made an interesting point about the respect he has for the A&M defensive line, but he also said they don't have a lot of depth. A big part of what we want to do is go a little bit more tempo and wear down that defensive front. And if you've noticed on this drive, A&M slow to get lined up. And Texas's offensive line, I think, recognizing that and able to really even take more control of the line of scrimmage.
That's a great point. They do try to rotate the guys up front, but the linebackers are out there a lot. York and Williams and Cassius Howell off a 4 overtime game last week, too.
Yep. Stewart, Regis, Scorton. Yeah, the game from last week. The emotions, you know, sometimes the emotions of a roller coaster game like this, the momentum swings back and forth. This defensive front is being tested against the scheme and also against the talent of Texas.
Right back to Wisner. Look at him. I looked at about 3 times this season we've had that. I looked at, he can't be just 200 pounds. He just runs. He's
slippery. I mean, yeah. The yards after contact tonight, we got another man we just talked about. You know,
Regis.
Yep. This is a great look at him. What you're talking about, how he's just kind of able to slip off of would-be tacklers. Shamar Turner, 5, the first guy with an arm tackle, gets off of him. You got another guy, Scorton's in there. He's not down yet, by the way. You better get him around the legs. Turner, 5, finally 8 yards downfield, had to finish the play.
I think your word with slippery was a great one, but he also knows how to finish runs. There's almost like a violence in the way that he finishes runs.
I agree. And again, I keep going back to how many injuries that they had back in camp and in the early part of the season in that position, and he's kind of emerged as this year's gone on. This is a guy that was supposed to be featured, C.J. Baxter. Remember, Jonathan Brooks could have come back, but left early to go off to the NFL. Yep. So then Baxter looks like he's going to become the guy and goes down with an injury, and it was really a job they were going to eventually find out. I think they thought Jaden Blue would probably be the guy. See, big fella Regis, who's been active tonight, but Wisner eventually took it over.
both teams without an elite running back. Talked about Le'Veon Moss being out for A&M. Baxter was that kind of guy, among the best in the SEC. But Wisner, who's paid his dues, came in as a much less heralded recruit. At the same time, Baxter came in and has stepped up and given a chance to be the man in the backfield. 2nd and 4. Minus the starter. Saggy front now is going to have to dig even deeper. Wisner again picks his way. Another excellent finishing on the run down to the 7. Got 6 more.
I mean, he's finishing on the run, but he's getting downhill. I mean, the right guard, DJ Campbell, does a nice job with the tight end coming around, 81, Juan Davis. I mean, he's not touched till he's about 5 yards downfield into the linebackers, into that second level. He's got 26 carries, an Ironman, 163 yards tonight.
Inside of a minute in the 3rd quarter. 11th play of this drive. That time they're all over Wisner. They swarmed him in the backfield. Torian York had seen enough.
They really rolled the dice there because of play action and RPO game. They could pull that out at any moment. They just said, to heck with it, let's take our chance. We're tired of seeing him get downhill on us. And they shot the gaps with York, who does that a lot as a linebacker. Remember, this is about where the ball was when they got the tip ball by DJ Hicks and the pick 6 by Will Lee. Same location on the field.
23rd carry for Wisner. First time tonight they've stopped him behind the line. 2nd and goal. Ewers moving, now running, and he'll be dragged down. The ball came out. The ball on the ground. Texas A&M takeaway. Torian York recovered it. The 2nd time they come up with a takeaway deep in their own end.
Chris, I just said that's exactly. I don't know if his knee's down. You know they're going to take a look at this to see as he started to slide if that knee touched while he had possession of the ball. He could throw this or run. Watch him slide. Oh no, I think that ball came out with the punch by Howe.
Came over the shoulder of Ewers and punched down on it.
Great look at it here, Chris. Watch this. The knee. Nope, ball's out.
Yep.
Ball is out.
So
Same exact spot in the field. I don't know what it is about A&M's defense. They get back by their own end zone. They missed a field goal. Think about Texas. Into the first half.
Yep.
Missed a field goal. Pick 6. And now a fumble at the 10-yard line.
So the Aggies, in what is going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter, take over at the 11. Everybody on their feet and roaring right now. Fake to Daniels, threw it across the middle and almost threw a pick. Michael Taft, the safety, was right there. Reed got away with one. The Aggies score the only points at pick 6 in the 3rd quarter. And with their playoff hopes hanging in the balance and a spot to Atlanta on the line. 4th quarter coming up after a word from your local ABC stations. The SEC on ABC.
Coach Elko, how has this defense changed the course of this game in the 4th quarter?
Yeah, obviously resilience. You know, we're not playing great, but we're making stops down in the red zone. The pick 6 was huge, got us back in it. That fumble was huge. We got to put something together on offense. We got to have a great 4th quarter.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
We've been on the ropes, it feels like, since midway 2nd quarter, but punching back now. Back-to-back Texas turnovers in the red zone. And the Aggies with a 2nd and 10 from their 11 to begin the final quarter. Running start.
They got 5 yards there.
Gilbo thought he had the snap count measured and ended up in the backfield.
Offside.
Oops.
On the defense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Hey, something to think about. That 3rd quarter, Texas 28 plays, 159 yards. A&M 6 plays, 30 yards.
Wow.
And somehow A&M with a 7-0 advantage in that quarter, thanks to that pick 6.
Turnovers coming when they were at the A&M 7 and then the 11. that fumble. So 2nd and 5, and Reed steps up, took a look, takes off, and loses the ball. It comes out. Looks like the Aggies have recovered. Trey Zune, the tackle, fell on it to avoid disaster. Yeah, it's enough for the first down.
I was just about to say, you know, for a guy that scrambles as much as he does, he's doing a pretty good job of protecting the ball, and then bang, LaFau knocks it out of there.
Zune made a big play. His grandparents were A&M professors. His parents met at the high school. Even though he grew up in Colorado, his whole family are Aggies, living his dream tonight playing in this game, and that was an important recovery. Keep this drive alive. There's a keeper by Reed who's going to be slung down in the backfield by Colin Simmons. Super talented true freshman, has had a quiet night so far.
Yeah, he has. But, you know, I think you think about him just as a pass rusher, but he's a guy that I think as the year has gone on, he gets better and better with his eyes. That time he sees Marcel keeping the football and is able to chase him down from behind. Great pass rusher. What a future as a true freshman.
So again, Ruben Owens playing his first football of the season back in the game, has it, and doesn't get a chance to flash his great speed. Knocked down quickly. Anthony Hill Jr. made the stop. It's going to be 3rd down now.
Like Texas has done to so many opponents before, they are not giving up the big play. A&M cannot get the ball downfield at all, forcing them to have to sustain drives. Here they get the ball at their own 10, trying to put some plays together. It's a tough ask, especially against this defensive front from Texas. The only drive where they sustained it was their opening drive when they had 9 plays and 65 yards when they got stopped on a 4th down. Other than that, they've not been able to keep the drives alive, string some plays together.
Trying to get it going here from the pocket. Across the middle, catch made, 1st down. Terry Bussey in traffic, showed some strength. Moves the ball to the 40 for 13 yards.
Yeah, they brought him out of the backfield. This is a talented guy that can do a lot of different things. You can put him at receiver. You can put him in that backfield. Here they knew they'd get the matchup they wanted with him lined up in the backfield, and he's able to win that against Ty Anthony Smith, the linebacker, the freshman. Held on to that football. Smith trying to rip it out.
Crucial conversion. Now Bussey and Daniels flanking Marcel Reed. Reed took a look wide, now finds it. Space in the zone there, and Trey Watson, the tight end, all of a sudden the rhythm Elko was looking for from his offense.
Yeah, he puts this on a rope, and he has to because of, you get the ball out here, watch the safety come off the receiver to the outside. This defensive back, watch him come off and now adjust back, and he felt that, and that's why instead of floating it, he just put it on a line, tight throw, and a good job of getting it there before the corner, Mohammed, made a play on the football.
Ball batted down at the line on the slant there. He was trying to find Noah Thomas. The foul got a hand on it.
The foul and Makuba, both those guys kind of creeping down. See, they don't respect anything downfield. Nothing downfield. So they're creeping up, trying to kind of play almost like a robber, kind of spying and waiting for those slants and glance routes, those quick throws. They guessed right that time, just not able to come up with that interception.
2nd and 10, run for Daniels, who's hit early by Broughton. He held the play up, and then Trey Moore dropped him for a 3-yard loss.
This guy's having a night he would love to have. This is a dream for Broughton, who's like he's waited for it to be his turn. Uses quickness, uses his hands, able to get skinny. Believe it or not, there at 305, be able to get through that gap between the guard and the center. And Trey Moore helps him out, chasing it down as well.
One of the seniors up front comes from Houston, which is a lot closer to the Aggies campus than the Longhorns. 3rd down and very long now. Throw across the middle, incomplete. Tried to find Trey Watson again. Makuba was in coverage, and it's 4th down.
Boy, does Makuba do a good job here. This is where his experience really pays off. Watch him just, you know, he reads the eyes of Marcel, and he looks to his right and senses that's where the ball is going. If he doesn't make that play, then I think Watson holds on to that football, but he comes all the way over from his safety spot to disrupt the timing between a quarterback and a tight end.
So the tackle for loss, Broughton and Moore setting up the 3rd and long, and the Longhorns get the stop. The Aggies got it across midfield. But now Tyler White will try to pin Texas back. Did he put too much on this one? Yeah, again, unable to knock it dead, rolls into the end zone. An opportunity slips away for the Aggies. Longhorns still up 10. All-State bus piloted by Caesar. 3rd trip here to Kyle Field this season. What's the All-State good hands play so far in a wild weekend?
Yeah, we're going to focus right here. I mean, this game looked like it might be over. Texas ready to go up 24-0, and then they get the big tip by DJ Hicks, and Willie takes it to the house, gets him back into the game. The very next possession, Texas driving again at about the 10-yard line. Ball gets knocked out by Howe, so giving him a chance.
Right back to Wisner. Man, they just cannot stop 26. 8 more on 1st down.
Yeah, he's looking at 200 yards tonight. And again, he'll be the first one to tell you he's going to take his offensive line to dinner. So we get another A&M defender down.
Yeah, Kelvin Banks over there in a boot, but Trevor Gooseby stepping in for him. Hayden Connor, Jake Majors, the cerebral center. Campbell Trophy finalist, great student athlete. DJ Campbell and Cameron Williams. Salute to those guys up front. And strong effort yet again this week in front of 109,028. 3rd largest in the history of the SEC's biggest stadium. Holly?
Well, that Texas offensive line, you know, they have been so good all year. 182 combined starts together tonight. That chemistry has shown up in every game except for the Georgia game where they got manhandled up front, and they said that changed us. We took that personally. We knew we had to be better, and this is a better version of them tonight. They've been physical, they've been durable, and they have changed the complexion of this game.
Absolutely. We keep talking about them, and we'll continue to talk about them. And if they end up winning this game, Holly, how exciting of a matchup would that be in Atlanta? That offensive line against Georgia in a rematch for the SEC championship.
No doubt. These guys are playing like they want another crack at that Bulldogs defense.
Yeah.
Certainly, they have been a huge part of the story in the month of November for Texas. Can they close out another game? Still a long way to go. 2 yards needed on 2nd down. Wisner off the left side. Banging through. Wisner bouncing off people. Showing his strength, moves the ball to the 45. He got 16 more. You're right, he's headed for 200.
He sure is. That little hesitation when he got the football, just a chance to allow, watch the offensive line, they need to get their block set, and once they get upset, he stays on his tracks and once again gets into that 2nd level of the A&M defense, and we got another player down from A&M.
And once again, it's Turner who went down right there. He's been down a couple of times. Holly reported he came back in. Albert Regis over there on the bike. So you talk about the wear and tear of this defensive front, leaned on by this big offensive line. They don't rotate as many guys as some of the other defenses in this conference. It's a league stacked with amazing talent on the defensive line, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
every week.
Both these teams, Ole Miss is elite. South Carolina is elite. You talk about maybe 4 or 5 teams in the league have more talent up front than Alabama does, and maybe
think about
Georgia.
Yeah, the way it's played out this year. Wouldn't have thought that in the preseason. No. But you're right, the lack of depth and starting to affect this defense. Turner, again, being helped off the field.
Texas has run 66 plays, Kirk. They now ground out 219 rushing yards, 218 throwing. Really, the only thing that slowed them down are the 2 turnovers.
Yep.
This thing would be done and dusted at this point. 1st down and at the 44. So Turner out of the game. Regis out. Some of the backups in there for the Aggies at the moment up front. Cassius Howell also not in the game. The Jack linebacker who forced that fumble earlier against Ewers. Crowd still in it. Texas just working on the clock in no hurry.
Not at all.
Another run by Wisner to the right. They can't get him down. Breaks a tackle, rumbles forward. That time Marcus Ratcliffe couldn't get him down. It's going to be another 8 yards picked up.
My guy Hayden Connor on that left side, the left guard, doing his job, picking up that linebacker blitz. Yards after contact have got to be ridiculous tonight for Wisner.
You know how the offensive line loves it when they call a game like this?
Oh, yeah.
You just put it on them and say, hey, we're putting the passing game in the back burner. You guys just pound away here.
He's got 90 yards now after contact.
He's got it again. This time they did penetrate, and he had to check the run up. York got there, and Shamar Stewart combined, and they get him for a loss of 5. It needed that play. It's going to be 3rd and long now.
That was a great effort on the inside by Regis. Watch him. It's a big man running out there to be able to set that edge. 17. He's listed at 310. Now here's an opportunity.
They can take it down inside 8 minutes before they snap it on 3rd and 7. And the Aggies get off the field here. Long throw, missed time. Bond was coming in. Viewers thought it was like an out route. That was what was going on early in the game. Since then, they've had the passing game kind of clicking, but not that time.
Not a great route from Bond. It almost looked like he was unsure. You can still see he's gimpy on that ankle. I don't even think he was expecting the football. And you could see Ewers clearly not on the same page. He made an adjustment there with soft coverage to the field, and Bond and he not on the same page. 4 targets on a night, no receptions.
It's blocked! The punt is blocked. The Aggies try to scoop it up before it goes out of bounds, and they do grab it at the 18. Special teams, electric play.
That's Trey Jones, I think, Chris, off the edge.
Jade Walker may have been involved too.
The other 9. Nobody touched him.
He's a receiver making a huge play off the edge.
He's 6'4" off the edge. Nobody picks him up. He's got a free run, gets out in front of that punt, goes off his body. That could not have been executed any better by Walker, right off the chest. So they get a pick 6. Now they get a block punt, and they get the football at the 20-yard line.
Well, if they're going to stage a massive comeback to keep hope alive for an SEC title and a playoff bid, then a tremendous job punching back here. Now, can they punch it in? Reed looking to throw. Finds his man along the sidelines, and it's Noah Thomas shoved out at the 12.
He put a little something on that ball back into the boundary. And again, with the way this A&M offense is executed, this is it. We talked in the opening drive when they went for it on 4th down. What they would do in the red zone would ultimately decide if they compete in this game. Well, here they are again. At this point, everything is 4-down territory. 7:15 to go.
Keeper, Reed, dodged the tackle. A flag comes in as he's brought down at the 9-yard line. Going to go against the Aggies, looks like.
And it's going to be a hold. Casanas, the left guard.
On the offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 2nd down.
Called out Trey's number.
They actually had a couple holds, the left guard and left tackle. You talked about him as a senior and a veteran. They call it over here on 60. See 71 also got involved here. See in the middle of the screen.
Makes it 2nd and 12 now. In traffic, a little screen, rumbling free, knocked down is Watson, the tight end, who's come up big here in the 2nd half. Got 16 yards, it's 1st and goal.
It's a screen, but it's downfield. Boy, those offensive linemen are getting downfield to help. Very close to a legal man downfield, but a no call and a 1st and 10. Good job of getting the ball out quickly by Marcel Reed before the lineman got downfield.
Keeper again, Reed. Be dragged down at the 3. Ducked inside of Michael Taft, and Simmons got him down. A little scuffle after the play.
Yeah, I thought he lost the handle of that football coming off of that read of Simmons. Once he got around Simmons, watch when he starts to pull. Yeah, look how close that thing came away. Oh, very close. Good job of securing the ball. Simmons eventually chased him down. Look at that football.
Long arms, he kind of runs with the ball, moving around loosely.
He lost it completely. His background playing hoops definitely comes in to help him out there.
2nd and goal. Daniels fighting, leaning, and stopped short, they say.
Boy, again, Marcel Reed's athletic ability. That was a hard snap to his left. Got to get the snap and then get the handoff in, and he did it. Here we go.
Inside the 1. Trying to cut this to a 3-point game. Daniels, nothing. Fighting still, no signal yet. Remember, they stopped him on a 4th down early in this game to set the tone. Vernon Broughton, bottom of the pile, flattened his back, finally helped up. It is 4th and goal.
Say the guy that makes the play is Bill Norton. Submarine, you saw that submarine shot that Sark just gave you. 15, just blew that play up.
There is a decision here now.
You're bringing the field goal unit out.
There's a decision. Need 2 scores anyway.
And you got, well, yeah, I was going to say he has 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout.
Let's get another look at the stop here.
The guy that really impressed me here is 15. Watch his push. Watch initially, and then he just pushes the A&M offensive line back into the running back. He had nowhere to go.
What do you think about the decision here? You know, Texas has been stout down here. You need 2 scores. Do you take the 3, or it's basically an extra point here and cut it to 7?
Well, this is a team that has struggled to move the football. You get an opportunity down here. As easy as it is to say go for the touchdown, they have been stoned on these short yardage situations. I mean, you think about it, because you're right there. You're at the 1-yard line, 2 timeouts.
If you don't get it, you're in trouble. I mean, Texas is going to take over, but you're still going to be down.
Game's over. If you go for it, you don't get it. The game's over.
Well,
for
odds are slim.
Yeah. Marcel Reed's strapping up.
If you do get it, of course, it's a 3-point game, and the odds are much better of trying to tie things with a field goal.
Such tough sledding, going a shotgun formation, and to give this defensive line a chance to stone your offensive line or shoot a gap. You know, if you're going to go for it, you got to get him out on the edge.
Offense is out there. And having to talk about this important play, Elko did spend the timeout, which could be important down the line, but this is much more important right now.
You got 3 tight ends in the game with 1 running back. No receivers in the game.
Pure power formation.
I like him under center.
Daniels, nothing! Texas makes the stop. Ethan Burke got there. And the Longhorn defense, again, rises up to protect this lead.
It's only fitting in a rivalry game that you get a goal line stand, and Burke right here makes the play of the game for the Texas defense. No chance with Burke coming off the edge. That play never had a shot. That's why I said you challenge the T to that defense. You got an athletic quarterback. I thought he'd maybe boot or naked to get out to the corner. Instead, they challenge Texas in the middle and get denied.
3 4th down stops for Sarkisian's defense.
Saturday Night Football is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by T-Mobile. Rock out at the T-Mobile SEC Championship Concert with Dan and Shay. Live December 7th at noon Eastern on Marty and McGee.
All the intensity we expected in this Lone Star Showdown. First time since 2011. You're watching the SEC on ABC. And Texas now, with 4:35 left, still protecting that 10-point lead. Meisner knocked out of bounds. Another 4th down stop. They blocked the punt. Walker makes the big play to set him up in the red zone, Kurt, and they can't punch it in. They don't settle for 3 there. That'll be second guessed by some there.
Yeah, and twice in the red zone, like you say, to get stoned. Tough matchup, especially on obvious 4th and short. The Texas defense just blew A&M up front and then shot the edges to pinch down to take away anything in the interior. Nothing at all open there.
Wisner picked up 9, and Longhorns fans saying, here we go again. Let's just hammer away, although Wisner's stopped right at the line. See if this offensive line can kill the last 4 minutes here and send Texas to Atlanta to play for the SEC championship in their first season in the conference. Nobody's ever done that, except, of course, the first ever year in the SEC when Alabama won it. But to come in and win the SEC in your freshman season, gonna have a chance, it looks like. Pick the Sonic drive-in recap.
Yeah, this is a turn of events. Break A&M needed a block punt, a chance to scoop it and go in for the touchdown. Instead, they are not able to do that. 3rd down and goal gets stopped. 4th down and goal again up the middle, stopped and denied again by that Texas defensive front.
Big play here, though. Can the Aggies front get the football back? It's 3rd and 1. Direct snap to Wisner. It's a little bit of a wrinkle, but another effective grinding out, moving the chains to keep this clock going.
A&M down to 1 timeout, the 2-minute timeout. Wisner now 179, 30 carries. And what a workhorse tonight.
Coming off a monster game last week against Kentucky, but an even bigger stage. Hope he can recover and rest up, assuming they can hold this lead. He's going to have to go back to work.
Sure is.
For an SEC title on the line. Carry number 31, and he's still spinning, making cuts, and falling forward.
He doesn't appear to be getting tired or slowing down. Start to think about that Georgia-Texas matchup if this ends up holding up. And, you know, the Texas offensive line, as good as they've been tonight at home, like we talked about against Georgia, is a very, very different story. See how they do if they get their second matchup against them.
Talk more about that in the closing minutes here. Back to Kevin, though.
Chris, time now for our Chick-fil-A move on the field. BYU needs to win, and an Iowa State loss tonight. Cougars down 7-0 on senior night to Houston. Onside kick, and BYU ties it up. It's Talon Alfrey. Now, Iowa State is winning 29-21 over Kansas State, but they also need BYU to win. A BYU loss gets Colorado in the Big 12 title game against Arizona State. Back to you, Chris.
I'm watching that with interest, Kevin. Thank you. 2nd and 4. Meisner's got the handoff. One into the left. Picks up just about a yard. Texas won't have to snap it till inside 2.5 minutes to go. 32 carries for Wisner.
Boy, Ewers has looked stressed out this whole game, hasn't he? I mean, look at his body language.
Made that big scramble to ease concerns about that right ankle injury he suffered a week ago. Did throw the pick and gave up the fumble, but now has done a great job of handing the football off and letting the offensive line cook. Doing their thing here. It's 3rd and 3. Wisner, this time they bottle him up. So the Aggies get the stop. It's 4th down. They don't have a timeout, so it'll wind down to the 2-minute timeout. And then Texas will try to get a punt away without having it blocked.
You know, as much as this defensive line has been tested, you know, they keep making plays, just enough plays to give them a chance here.
Aggies with faint hopes. Texas will punt it away with 2 minutes to go in Kyle Field. All the names in this rivalry. Darrell Royal got it going. Mack Brown had great success. He was 10-4 against the Aggies, 5-2 here. And all those Longhorn running backs that have had great careers, great games against the Aggies. Think of Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams broke the record, Cedric Benson. This guy's just joined the club. Oh. Contravian Weiser can barely keep his head up. He's on the bike over there.
On a bike.
33 carries, 186 yards. Didn't have a touchdown. His longest run was 23. They get the punt away, and Bussey is spun down. But the vast majority of those, 130 plus between the tackles tonight.
Yeah. Get off the bike, throw him in the ice plunge.
Well, there's time for that. There'll be a whole week of that. This Baxter, of course, the man who got injured, is supposed to be their superstar. His injury opening the door for Weisner and others to step up.
Remember, they have not been able to create many big plays downfield, too high safety look. Take that part away, the threat of that away.
It's E.J. Smith in for Daniels, who was just stopped a couple times down there on the goal line. And there's a wobbly throw, and the catch is made into Texas territory. Is Noah Thomas. 13-yard gain. Clock stops for them to move the sticks, and then it'll roll. And the Aggies, of course, cannot stop it.
No, good job by Reed, though, getting that ball out in a hurry to his primary receiver and able to get that clock stopped.
Pressure comes. He spins free, and he'll be knocked down. Ball is out. Texas falls on it. It's Vernon Broughton, who's had a monster night, who makes the recovery that should secure Texas's spot in the championship game. Trey Moore
knocks it loose. Broughton gets on top of it. And then after the play, something happened with Simmons, 11, or his helmet's off, and he was upset. I don't know if he was hit by a Texas A&M player or what may have happened.
But Trey Moore came off the edge to knock it loose, and Vernon Broughton punctuates a humongous night by a big man in the middle of that Longhorn defense. Best defense in the country, you think?
I think it is. I think the way they played all year. We'll see what happened here after the play. There are two guys that were tangled up at about the 30 to 35 yard line. I think it was Reed Adams, the center.
The ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by Texas. After the play was over, personal foul, number 11 against Texas. Personal foul, number 55 against Texas A&M. Those fouls offset. Texas ball, first down.
Ahmad Reed Adams for the Aggies and Simmons involved. They'll review to make sure Broughton recovered it inbounds here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you get the pressure here. It's good coverage downfield. They're trying to force him to his left. Marcel Reed loses Trey Moore and the threat of Trey Moore. And then there's Broughton. How fitting for him to be able to jump on top of that fumble. This Texas defense has played great all year. You ask me if they're the best defense. They're the most consistent defense without any question. And now they'll get a chance next week in Atlanta to avenge that loss to Georgia. Here's the penalty right there, offsetting with Reed Adams and Simmons well after the whistle. Man, we've seen a lot of that stuff today.
Well, Kirk, yeah, this defense, remember, they pitched a shutout. The Aggies' points came in a pick six. They have shut out the Aggie offense. 248 total yards. They dominated on the ground. They come to Kyle Field. And after a 13-year hiatus, Texas is going to still have bragging rights.
And you brought up a good point. I think it's worth reminding all of ourselves when Texas and Oklahoma were going to leave the Big 12 and come into the SEC, there was a groundswell of, all right, come on to the back tees, boys. Let's see how you can do in the SEC. And how about Texas? All the way to Atlanta as he puts the one up in their first year. And they're off to the SEC championship no matter what happens in that game, into the postseason, into the playoff. But right now they're focused on winning that SEC championship game against Georgia. That will be a battle of the Titans with Kirby and the Dogs and the Horns going toe-to-toe.
We'll love bringing you that one. But tonight in College Station, Sarkisian and the Longhorns come into this hostile, charged-up environment. Execute early, build a big lead, withstand a rally, overcome a couple turnovers and a block punt with a very stout defense and a deeply satisfying road victory in the rebirth of this rivalry. to Holly.
Coach Sarkisian, this is your first taste of this legendary rivalry. How much nicer is it to walk off this field with a win?
Well, it feels pretty good. You know, the rivalry's one thing, but the opportunity now to go compete for an SEC championship, our first year in the conference, is pretty exciting, but it's going to be a heck of a challenge.
Your defense had one of the best games of their season. 4th and goal, 4 minutes left in this game to make it a one-score game. How did your defense win this game?
Our defense was fantastic all night. They really shut them out. You know, they got the one interception on the tip ball for the long touchdown, but our defense was fantastic all night long.
Almost 250 yards rushing in a game this physical against a front like theirs. What does that say about your team and how physical they have become late this season?
Well, we challenged them about a month ago that our run game had to get going. This guy right here has been a warrior, man, this last month. So just love what the O-line's doing, the tight end, and this guy's brought a lot of heart to this unit, and it's been great.
Before I talk to you, sir, SEC championship, in your first year in the conference, you will play in that title game. What does that mean for you in this program?
Well, you know, that was the goal coming into it. It doesn't matter what conference we're in. Our goal is to be champions year in and year out. That's the standard here at the University of Texas, and that won't ever change.
We'll see you in Atlanta, Coach. And don't you leave me. You were so good tonight. You know, you weren't going to be the every down back coming into this season. How did you seize this opportunity? Almost 350 yards in your last 2 games.
Oh, man, you know, just coming to a program like this, when your name is called, you have to be ready to step up. So, you know, losing Cedric Baxter and having to step up play is wrong for him. You know, just being able to be there for my guys, you know, just taking on head first mean the world to me.
I mean, I'm looking at your uniform. You're covered in blood and paint, and this was a hard game for you. How did you run so hard in a game that means so much to people in Texas?
You know, something Coach Toy tells me, whenever I got the ball in my hand, I'm not just running for myself. I'm running for my family's livelihood. I'm running for my teammates' livelihood, the whole program's livelihood. So, you know, whenever I just have the ball, I know I got to get to a destination. I'm going to get there no matter what it takes.
Coach said he challenged this team to run the ball better. How can you keep up that physicality to compete with a Georgia team that's beaten you once already this year?
You know, just get back in practice, stay physical, hit the weights hard, believe in my O-line, believe in the program, the game plan that we're trying to do and execute the plays when it's called.
What does this rivalry game mean to you to go off with the win?
You know, I'm a Texas kid, born and raised, so, you know, just being able to go to the University of Texas and play the Texas A&M University and just be able to come out here and compete at a high level and come out with the W at the end of the day, it means the world to me also.
Okay, we'll see you too in Atlanta.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You find a burst of energy for that interview. Nice job there. Ewers, Sarkisian. Horns up.
There's a lot of singing today in College Station, but they walk off the field singing their song with the horns up.
And that is about as sweet as it gets for a Texas fan. You clobber Oklahoma and Red River. Then this old rivalry is renewed. You come to their place and you really do a heck of a job dominating them physically and sing your song on the way out. On the way to Atlanta, you get a chance to avenge their only loss of the regular season. They lost at home by 15 to Georgia. Got off to a bad start. Defense actually played well against that Georgia offense. As we check the college football rankings here, Ohio State, how far did they drop? And what's going to happen next week in Atlanta? There've been 7 rematches in the SEC championship game of regular season matchups. Typically, the regular season winner has won 5 out of 7.
Yeah, and this was a mismatch at the line of scrimmage, honestly. And Sark will be the first one to tell you he was shocked by it. He tipped his cap to Georgia. Georgia won up front. I think the whole nation, remember after the game, Kirby and the Georgia team said, nobody believed in us, and they were all fired up about that. And I think they showed up with it, played their best game they played all year. But look at the sacks, the tackles for a loss, behind the sticks. If I remember right, Texas 2 of 15 on 3rd downs that night. So we'll see the adjustments that are made on both sides as they get ready for round 2 next week.
A lot of talking in Athens, too, as the Dogs were very fortunate to escape 8 overtimes against the gutsy Georgia Tech team. The former Aggie, by the way, Haynes King, gave it all he had, but came up short. And the Longhorns celebration continues. It'll be a 100-mile trip.
Good job by Sark. Off the logo. Here we go.
Yep.
Off the logo. No need for that. We can celebrate in other areas. That's how you handle that.
Police are also protecting that logo, if you'll notice.
Smart.
Yeah, take your victory and flip it forward and play for bigger things now.
Absolutely.
Texas trying to win it year one in the SEC. You got SMU trying to splash as the ACC champion. Who knows what's going to happen in the Big 12? That's still very much in play. Arizona State secured their spot. How about Clemson, SMU?
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll tell you, Clemson now gets in with that Miami loss. Look at this one. Nobody's talked much about UNLV, but if they end up knocking off Boise State, and that's not that far-fetched, UNLV would end up being the group of 4 team that would end up going into a playoff spot. So we've been assuming it's Boise State, but look out for that matchup this next week.
Quinn Ewers wasn't perfect tonight. Gutsy made the big scramble on that ankle early in the game to set the tone. And a touchdown pass, but leaned on Wisner and that offensive line. And Texas, it's hard to see one team that stands out and says, well, they're complete, they're consistent. Is it Oregon? Is it Texas?
I think it's Texas. I mean, Oregon is fast. They're dynamic. It's going to be a lot of fun. What's crazy is when Georgia plays their best, they're really good, right? So who can put it together? Who can string together the consistency to play at their very best? Texas has been pretty much the same team for most of the year, with the exception of when Georgia came to Austin and beat them up pretty good.
Game day's been to the SEC championship game a lot of times. We've had the pleasure of watching that game ringside on the field, just kind of scouting, watching in a suite. We'll get to be in the booth for the very first time. It's our pleasure to bring you the SEC championship game. Yeah, it's different. Both teams figure to be safely in the playoff, no doubt about that. But they'll play for a conference championship in a very charged-up environment. And, of course, that seed and that bye, which is part of the new reality.
And I think let's put the playoff to the side. You heard Sark tell Holly, this is for a chance. When you're inside a locker room and you compete and you lift weights 12 months out of the year, it's to win a championship. And that's what Sark and the boys will be playing for next week against Kirby and the Dogs.
Well, it's been a pleasure tonight. Caps our regular season. We will see you from Atlanta. Tremendous job by our crew all night and all season long. Bill Bonnell produced the game. Jimmy Platt directed it. Thanks to Tony and Darren and Mark and Blackie in the booth and our entire crew. Except on the West Coast, stay tuned for your local news over most of these ABC stations. Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe, Bill LaMagne, and our entire crew. Chris Fowler saying so long from College Station. We'll see you in Atlanta for the Dogs and the Horns, round 2.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ABC.